Spoke the truth through ash and flame. Now I rest beyond the name. Come still, pray with me. My voice will rise, my fate is planned. The crown was given, I made a mind. Storms descend, like thunder strike land. I must spread heaven, draw the line. Leave your eyes, restore the fall.
Hello, 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 hello. How is everyone doing today? Hope everyone is good. We're jumping back into Arknights and continuing on the Retracing Our Steps storyline. Let's put this up to 50. There we go. And let's enter.
Arknights.
Unfortunately, we are unable to level Pragmata. Pragmata? That is her name, right? Why does that sound wrong? That sounds wrong. Isn't Pragmata a game that just came out? Yeah, I'm wrong. Praminix. Praminix, yes. Yeah, there we go. Pragmata, lol. We're unfortunately unable to level up Praminix any further because the mage token stuff, the modules, we can't get any more of them until Friday, until tomorrow. So she is stuck at level 50 unupgraded, I guess. But we did grab the other character that we got, the 5-star, and we have pumped her with some levels. Where is she? The hunter girl, which I assume she's a ranger, right? There she is, Snow Hunter. So she has been promoted, and she is now E1 level 40. So we'll get to try her out a bit. Looks like she uses ammo, so that's going to be interesting. So attacks consume ammo to increase attack to 120%, while not attacking ammo will slowly reload. So she kind of reminds me of like Cold Shot a little bit, at least on that part. On skill activation, sends out Rift Cloud Beast to attack, dealing 155% attack as physical damage and inflicting cold. Oh, she inflicts cold. Okay, we can freeze people like crazy then. There's so many characters that are inflicting cold now. This is actually kind of insane. Very nice, very nice. But yes, we'll be adding her to the team. Very nice, very nice. And we'll get our free roll in 25 minutes. We'll get our free roll to go for the SilverAsh again in 25 minutes. Very nice. I don't think we need to do anything else for the time being. The reset will spam us with all the menus and the rewards and the anniversary stuff. But for now, let's see if we can get through chapter 4. Right where we left off. Right where we left off. Conjoined lives. We put aside our differences and the conflicts of the past, and walk hand in hand towards the same future. Is this going to be about Praminix and the Hunter Girl coming together to support each other? Okay. Oh, interesting. The avalanche is all the way over here. Whoa, look at this. Okay, so we have a plan. We have a plan. We need pushers. We need lots and lots of pushers. We don't need rope. We need a pusher. They're specialists, right? What do we got? What are our options here? Sure. Let's also trade out bagpipe. We probably only need one more, to be honest. We don't need too many of them. Oh, enforcer. Yep. Actually, doesn't... Oh, no, we don't have a better one. Yeah, let's stick with Enforcer. I think Enforcer will work here. I'm wondering, these are both, oh, this is greatly and this is moderately. We probably only need the moderately, I think, maybe. No, we'll stick with greatly. And we also have the Weedy who can push, the Praminix Altar who can push. And I think that's it. I think that's all our pushes. Yeah, okay. Okay. Let's go. The squad. Wow. Ratatos. Ah, didn't I tell you not to bother me today? Who's... Ah, she's back. Sister. What are you doing here? Don't just stand there, take a seat. What's the matter? Can't sleep? I thought I told Yucatan to keep a close eye on you. No. She shakes her head. I told Yucatan not to come with me. I wanted to talk to you, one-on-one. Okay, so at least we know now that she didn't die. I did have the theory that she might have died, but okay, she lives. Ratatos never thought she would see this expression on her sister, who is usually so cheerful and straightforward. All right, but only for a little bit. Then you go back to bed. Acting like a little girl when you're supposed to be a mum already. I heard Arktos shouting in the drawing room today. Damn, so he did disturb you. I'll have his hairy head for this. No, it's not that. I heard what you were arguing about. I don't know, many bad things have been happening lately. Please, Rada. If you do know something, tell me. By Keraganda. You shouldn't be worrying about these things right now, Sirius. You'll have plenty to worry about once you take my job. But there's been trouble after trouble. Even I, shut up in my room, can tell that things are getting worse. I see unhappy faces outside the window every day. Not to mention we haven't heard anything back from Monch. Yeah, Monch is there. Look, so Monch is their version of the SilverAsh's Degenbrecher, right? They're basically like personal bodyguard / mercenary character. I have people searching for her. I'm sure she's fine. Hey, don't forget that she's one of the finest brown-tail warriors. Is she also meant to be a squirrel, I wonder? I know. It's you I'm really worried about, Rada. I've never helped very much, but there was a time when I could at least stand by your side and give you my support. But now you're facing this all on your own. I wish you'd talk to me more. There's no need to carry everything on your shoulders. Yucatan and I have your back, no matter what. You think too much, my little sister. Are you really in such a hurry to take over for me? That's not what I promise you, Sirius. I'll protect you and Yucatan, and all of Clan Browntail. If it's the last thing I do. Keraganda be my witness. Still don't believe me? But you've got to believe Keraganda, right? There's no need to go that far. Alright, then promise me you're going to bed now. Tomorrow will be a better day. Why is Rada always talking about passing on the leadership? Are they like, is she super old or something, or is she just ready for retirement? She's over this shit. Oh god, it's this guy again. Okay. You honor me with your invitation, Madam Brandtail. I take it your thinking has changed, then. Cut the crap. Assassinating the members of Clan SilverAsh and Clan Perilash, driving a rift between the three clans. Is this how you intend to coerce me into working with you? I thought Victorian politicians were smarter than that. The man smiles nonchalantly. I'm not sure how such a notion could have occurred to you, Madam Browntail. Assassinating the leadership of another country on their own soil. It would be tantamount to a declaration of war, if it could be proven. Are you sure you want to accuse Victoria of such crimes? So this is why you people seem so smug about yourselves. I'm not sure I understand your meaning. But since you have deigned to meet me today, I am very happy to listen. Is there anything I can help you with? Go on, act smug. Your crude little plot worked, huh? The relationship between the Palaroshes and the Browntails has broken down completely, and I've become the most suspicious one here. As for Ensiodes, he just spun his tale about all three clans wanting stability to hoodwink that fool Arktos. He knows full well that, in the present state of Kereg, should the leader of any of the clans meet an accident, it would take little effort to demoralize the already disheartened people. If he learns of our meeting, he will not hesitate to join forces with the Palaroshes to attack me, even if he knows full well I wouldn't promise you anything. After all, what Kereg needs right now is a culprit, one to place all the blame on. In that event, it's entirely possible that Clan Browntail would be wiped off the map. I don't have much time left. My sympathies, madam. I am in full agreement with your assessment of the situation. Do you intend to turn things around, then? Let's get straight to the point. First, I want an absolute guarantee that you will prioritize the safety of Clan Browntail and the people of my domain, no matter what happens. Of course, we have long sympathized with the ordinary folk who have become marginalized by Clan SilverAsh. It is one of our major goals for peaceful cooperation with Kereg. Ugh, say whatever you want. Second, all the trade policies currently in place will remain so when Clan Browntail takes over from Carlin Trade. Then the Victoria must not withdraw any assistance currently offered to Kereg. Otherwise, we reserve the right to terminate our cooperation with immediate effect. Not something you want to happen. You need not worry, madam. We are more than eager to cooperate with Kereg, and would never dream of undermining this partnership. There will be much room for further cooperation once you become the sole representative of your nation. Good. Taking over Carlin Trade isn't something that can be accomplished overnight. We need time to prepare, and the first order of business is to deal with Arktos. I know that man, and he will come looking for trouble if he finds out Clan Browntail has been working with Victoria. In a sense, he is an even bigger problem than Ensiodes. That bloody fool. Most regrettable. The decision is yours, Madam Browntail. How should we persuade Arktos? I will contact him again for one final meeting. Oh. There is an old Browntail manor at the foot of the mountains in the southwest, an area that is virtually uninhabited. I will send Arktos a message telling him to meet me there tomorrow, where I will explain the truth. The time of the meeting is set at 7 p.m., 15 hours from now. I hope Victoria will demonstrate its good faith. Of course. You will not be disappointed. We look forward to your persuasion of Clan Palarosh. Why do I always feel like it's the squirrels that are doing the super fucky stuff, man? They're always trying to stab someone in the back. The mountain wind carries the snow, battering the hay-thatched roof. A few dry leaves are blown into the air, landing on the braids of the girl sitting on the rooftop. She picks it out and rubs it in her fingers. The rift cloud beast pokes its head out from behind the girl's shoulders, rubbing against her red cheeks. Rift cloud beast? I'm just clearing my head. You don't have to come out and be cold with me together. The little white creature, which has endured many harsh days and nights with Joanna, purrs gently. Thanks. I don't know how to face the Saintess. She's the vicar of Karaganda. I should love and honor her, but how could those things happen? Why must my family be punished? The girl sits quietly on the roof, rift cloud beast in her arms, until the fine snowflakes cover her hair in white. White. The door leading to the backyard is pushed open. The visitor has added a few shallow footprints on the snow, Enya sees 3 scattered crossbows as she walks to her left and picks up one to examine it. It is smaller than the one that Joanna uses. Enya casts her gaze in front, and there are 3 targets standing a short distance away, with a few bolts on them that have yet to be retrieved. They started training at such a young age. There's a name on the stock. Does it belong to her siblings? Anya's attention is drawn to a bunch of sculptures scattered haphazardly on the ground at the other end of the yard. Their visage is a familiar one. Enya approaches the largest amongst them and holds it before her. The sculptor was obviously extremely skilled. Karaganda is smiling gently upon her. This is just like the one we built at Lake Sibbenherz. I guess this is what they all think you look like. There are other sculptures lying by her feet, and Enya picks up one of them. This one is sleeker, the chisel marks on the face rougher, giving it a sense of harshness. Perhaps the sculptor had used too much force when sculpting the face, and chiseled off a little too much. There she is, there's our god. There's our goddess. It's not right, is it? Doesn't look like Karaganda at all. The face needs to be a little thinner, and the body... Will you heed the plea of your humble handmaiden, Saintess? Enya, please. See? It looks better when the face is rounder. She carefully puts the 2 sculptures of different sizes back. In this bare, unfamiliar backyard, Enya puts her hands together and prays toward the statue of Karaganda, as the elders of Vinebead Court often do. She does not make any wish, she only hopes for a miracle. Oh, is she venturing out? Has she healed back? The sun has set, but the huntress still sits in the yard. Okay, no, she's still in the building. She hurriedly gets up to bow when she sees Enya, but the latter lays a hand on her shoulder. Saintess, no need for formalities. It's just us 2. I would prefer it if you would call me Enya. As you wish. After greeting Enya, the girl looks aside and falls quiet again. There are a lot of Karaganda sculptures in the backyard. Did you and your family make them yourselves? Nods in silence. They look a little different. Is it because people interpret the image of Karaganda depicted in the old books differently? My dad made the ones that looked like her. I made the ones that don't. I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask. Why did you make all those sculptures? My family is a branch of Clan Palarosh that went into the mountains on Karaganda's orders. We've been hunters ever since. We believe all the lives in the mountains share Karaganda's soul, and we are all part of the eternal cycle of life within her. In gratitude for the blessings of Karaganda, every member of our family must learn to sculpt the image of Karaganda once we are old enough to hunt alone. We also make leather jackets, bone sculptures, and accessories with her mark. Here, blessed hunter, are the whispers of the wind and the grass not her hymns? Are the creatures that walk and fly not she embodied? The cycle of life and death is the cycle of water and ice. There is neither beginning nor end. Speak of Karaganda's wisdom and love, and listen. Rely on signs and omens, but seek upon snow-covered peaks. And become one with her. Yes. This part feels different from the other parts of Karaganda. I always get stuck here. The details of the scriptures are not what matters the most. What's important is to be constantly mindful that Karaganda watches and listens to our words and deeds. You may not remember the complicated verses, but your living, hunting and sculpting in accordance with her teachings. Even as the saintess, I may never have truly understood the meaning of this passage if I hadn't met you. You're one of the most pious faithful I've ever met. Karaganda will protect your family. Really? Yes, I'm her chosen saintess after all. She will appear when we need her most, no matter what hardship we face. Oh. Tears roll down the young cheeks of the huntress who always puts on a strong front, falling and melting the snow by their feet. Joanna, what's the matter? You can tell me. Enya takes Joanna's trembling hands in hers. When I first learned to hunt, I was bitten by an infected beast, and I got oropathy. Dad hunted every day and made those sculptures after coming back from the hunt, so that he could sell them in town to buy medicine for me, and he did it for years. A few days ago, Dad's friend told me he was at the station the day the catastrophe happened. If I didn't... Joanna. Why Karaganda? Wait, does that mean she's all alone now? Oh no. The grieving girl drops to the ground, curled up in a fetal position. Enya kneels by her side, trying to find words of consolation. But for all the scriptures she has memorized, none have an answer. After a brief hesitation, she begins patting the girl's back. There is a lump in her throat. If even eternal Karaganda can fall silent, what could her saintess possibly do? Are you listening, Kya? Sitting by the window, the rift cloud beast suddenly growls with as much volume as it can muster, and darts back into Joanna's hood. Joanna sniffles and wipes her tears with her palms. Someone's coming. I'll get the door. Young lady? How do I get to the nearest town? It's a trap. Are you lost? Do you see those lights? Follow the trail down the mountain and follow the lights whenever you come to a crossroads. It's getting dark and my eyesight is poor. It's 100% a trap. I'll walk with you. No, I can't leave right now. You could spend the night here and head down once the sun rises. No, I shouldn't trouble you. I'll find the path down the mountain. Oh, okay, no, they're leaving. What is it? Just an old man who got lost. You're quite far from town. Do people pass by here often? No. My family are the only ones who live here. We don't see many passers-by. In fact, you were the first. Look out! Yup. Almost fell for the trap. Almost fell for it. Oh, here we go. Alright, now we need to push all of them into the holes. Time to push them off the map, baby. When's our first pusher? Probably Shore. How quickly does this thing move? Does it do a circle? Oh no, it's powering through. Okay. Okay, well we might have to do something about that. Oh. Okay. Sure. Look at this. This is going to be beautiful. Oh, shit. Wait. Oh, I see the region now. I see it. God, you could barely see this this line here. Jesus. Oh. Well, thanks for that one, buddy. It's telling me I need to place this thing here. Boom. Let her get in here. Oh my god, she's almost dead. And she's dead. Keep her healed up, keep her topped up. Okay, so maybe my plan of pushing everyone off into the edge isn't going to work as well as I thought it was going to. Catch him. Nice. She's gonna die though. Ooh, nice. I don't think I'm gonna be able to heal. Oh no, we attack faster. We might be able to heal through this. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Success. Almost death, but we're okay. Maybe we put Kiara here. Oh, sorry, it doesn't end with an A, does it? It's just Kiara. Kiara. I'm just gonna bait this out. That's fine. I don't want them carrying the snowballs that far. Yeah, okay, my plan here didn't really work out. That's made me a little sad, not gonna lie. Hit me! Oh, he held on to it. Damn, okay. That's unfortunate. Gone. Easy. Easy, bro. Back already, Gulo. You still have the gauze on your head. I told you to think before you act. You get back to the hospital right now and stay in bed. Master, I heard that you're going to meet with Rataros again, and the Brown Tail's invitation. You can't go. What? You think I'm afraid of her? That witch says she's going to tell me the truth. I'm eager to see what she spews from the mouth of hers. But Master, the meeting is on Brown Tail turf. This is clearly a trap. You think I don't know? A Palarosh never runs from a fight. Just because it's her turf doesn't mean a Palarosh is helpless there. You know what? Seeing that gauze on your head is making me doubly mad. I don't care how mad you are, Master. I'm sitting right here at the door and not budging an inch until you change your mind. And what does any of that have to do with you? It's my own fault I got hurt and couldn't protect you. All I can do is stop you from putting yourself in danger. I'm not angry at you. I'm angry at those bloody brown tails. Don't worry, I'll settle the score for you. I'll show them nobody messes with the clan Palarosh. Get out of the way, brother. Master. Warriors, take General Gulo back to his room. Several warriors help Gulo up and help him walk back to his room. I'm not afraid of them, but I won't go unprepared. Fifane, prepare a few more cars, boys. He's gonna try and have some distraction cars. They can't destroy them all, right? Maybe? Although they're getting the help from Victoria, so they might be able to. Dinner is ready, Madam Sirius. What about the matriarch? Will she not join us? Matriarch Ratatos has left. She says not to worry about her. I remember the matriarch saying she had a meeting with Clan Palarosh today. But it's so early. Did she go alone? We're not sure. Something doesn't feel right, Yucatan. Go after her. All right. One moment, please, Madam Sirius and Master Yucatan. What is it this time? The matriarch left orders before she left. We are not to allow the two of you to leave home tonight, under any circumstances. Under house arrest for the night. Saintess, get down! Drat, who are these people? How dare they attempt to murder the Saintess on Kerrig's soil? Maybe they're not from Kerrig. They're dangerous. Don't worry, Saintess. I'll protect you with my life. They won't get in so easily. Don't underestimate the hunters of Kerrig. The young huntress locks and loads her heavy crossbow, barely taking any time to aim it through the broken window before pulling the trigger. It is immediately followed by multiple screams. Hit. Careful. There are a lot of them. We can't just stay here. We need to get out. What do we do? Calm down. Listen to me. Lying prone on the snow, the attacker gestures to those behind him to remain hidden. They learned their lesson the hard way. They slowly close in on the house, on guard against the crossbow bolts that can be fired from the window at any time with uncanny accuracy. They could see a shadow move behind the curtain, and the edges of the curtain sway. The attacker raises his crossbow. The poison bolt strikes the figure behind the curtain. He hears the sound of the body hitting the floor, then silence. Hit. Not sure if she's down. Units 2, 3, and 4, hold position. Unit 1 with me. Approach with care. The intel says there are 2 of them. Several figures sneak up to the house, breaking in once they have determined no sound coming from inside. What? It's a wooden sculpture. A sculpture of Karaganda lies on the ground, a crossbow bolt sticking out of its head. The assailants did not notice the delicate sound of machinery operating as they entered the room. What? Trap? They hear the ringing of a bell, while their arms and legs go weak. 5 loaded crossbows and a massive net take aim at the invaders. Oh my god. They fell for it, just like you said. You'd better repent for damaging a sculpture of Karaganda. Now run. She did the shotgun trap. You open the door and just get instantly blasted. Rip. Alpha, report. The Palaroche convoy has cleared the 3rd checkpoint. Confirm target position. Back seat of the lead car. Shall we engage? Affirmative. Wait. There's a change in the situation. The target stopped moving. No direct line of sight. I can't see what's going on. Browntail warriors? What are they doing here? Stand by. I'm calling number 1. What's the meaning of this? Your matriarch told us to come to meet her, then sent you to stop us. The location of the meeting is just ahead, Sir Arktos. This will only take a minute of your time. Please, allow us to search your vehicles in the interest of safety. What a joke. You're afraid of a handful of boys when your people picked the location. You people are cowards. The orders came from the matriarch Ritados. We request your cooperation. Do what you want. I've got nothing to hide. No issues. You may proceed now, Sir Arktos. Not so fast. You searched us, now we search you. Search every nook and cranny from here to the Browntail Manor, the road and everything around it. You find anybody suspicious, take them in. Yes, sir. Report on the target's location, Alpha. Come in, Alpha. Alpha, can you hear me? Report. What's going on? Command. The target car has entered our surveillance zone as an approaching the final point of action. Should we move? When did he... Is there any movement from the target? No, the target hasn't exited the vehicle. I can't see inside from here. Stand by. Engage once you have visual on the target. Bravo reporting. We have visual on what we believe to be an armed Carag patrol. Have you identified them? Unclear. Possibly Palaroche guards. Charlie reporting. We've spotted Carag warriors too. They're searching nearby buildings. Our position may be compromised. Shall we make a move now? Negative. Stand by. We've been compromised. Engaging. They found us. We've been exposed. Repeat, we've been exposed. Permission for final action. Bloody hell. Affirmative. Are they just gonna do the mountain thing again? Catch them in an avalanche or a rock slide?
The north winds blow over the mountain road. The tusk beast hides among the rocks he bides. Take your bow, swing it low by the little wood window. Hit.
The forest is the domain of the hunter. The young huntress takes Enya into the forest, the mysterious assailants in hot pursuit. Their numbers are soon thinned by crossbow bolts that seem to come out of nowhere.
There's at least one more. Where are you?
The huntress knows that her last shot has revealed her position, while the enemy has withdrawn into the shadows. She hides behind a large tree, zeroing in on one little sound. Lock, load, loose.
Missed?
Uh-oh. The young huntress is pushed to the ground as her shot misses. The attacker picks up a bolt from the ground and aims it at her throat, but he never gets the chance to bring his raised hand down. It is frozen.
Oh.
A blurred silhouette appears from above the assailant, bringing the weight of 1,000 mountains down upon his head. This has to be Degenbrecher, right? She finally caught up. The ground trembles and the snow on the tree branches is scattered.
Degenbrecher?
Yup. The one-man army has arrived. Degenbrecher catches the bolt flying towards her with one hand.
Who are you? What do you want with the Saintess? Stop, Joanna. Degenbrecher is a friend.
Degenbrecher? Joanna hesitantly removes the bolt from her crossbow as she looks up and down at Degenbrecher.
I've heard your name before. They say you're a strong warrior, but I've never seen a man beaten into permafrost like that. What are you doing here, Degenbrecher?
Enciode sent me. I apologize, but now is not the time to stick to the rules.
How did he know I was in danger?
This is not the only attack in recent days. There were attempts on the lives of the members of the clans SilverAsh and Palarosh soon after you left the Vinebead Court. The three clans are on the brink of civil war.
How could this be?
These people. Only now do the trio have the time to take a long look at the assailants. The assailants, late assailants, more precisely. They are wearing Palarosh armor, and they are carrying standard-issue Carreg weapons.
Clan Palarosh. That's impossible. Clan Palarosh has always been loyal. They would never think of murdering the Saintess.
But there has to be an explanation for these people.
They must be in disguise. Someone is trying to frame the Palaroshes. Let me see. There must be some gap in their disguise. Yes, look at this bolt.
These people thought they could fool us wearing Palarosh clothes, but they got a very important thing wrong.
Look, the bolts they're carrying are two-fletched, but the ones used by Palarosh warriors are three-fletched, which are more suitable for battle than hunting. Dad told me that our family was the best, most loyal warriors of the Palaroshes before we split from the clan. Our shooting skills were passed down from our ancestors, who used them in war, mostly against the SilverAshes.
A logical explanation.
All ancient history now. The wars between the three clans, Palarosh, Browntail, and SilverAsh, have long since come to an end, and your family became hunters under Karaganda's kind guidance.
Yes,
by Karaganda.
It's not hard to guess who is impersonating Clan Palarosh.
The Victorians.
Degenbrecher pulls a bolt from one of the Victorians' necks and examines it.
Did you make this yourself? Yes, my dad taught me when I was little. The craftsmanship had been passed down my family from one generation to the next.
From one generation to the next? The cut of the fletching, the shape of the point, even the etching on the shaft. These are all unique to Ursus.
How's that possible? Dad said it's a mark of Karaganda's faithful. I've seen arrows like these in the arenas of Casimir's many times, used by those who claim to master the most authentic Ursine martial arts. A gimmick, no doubt, but the GCC also sponsors legitimate historians. I've read their papers and seen the artifacts they dug up. But we're all indigenous to Kereg. We used to be part of Clan Palarosh. What does Ursus have to do with Kereg? Enya? Some brought flags, some brought drums, and some brought swords. The three outsiders fought constantly, and their blood turned the rivers red, and she grieved. She went to the place of battle and said, "Sheathe your weapons, and let your hearts be joined, and I will bestow upon you the blessings of prosperity and protect you from ill." But the three were foolish and continued to fight, even after they heard her words. So she cracked the heavens and split the clouds, and she brought forth a miracle, and the fighting was stopped. One of them wept, but how could we forget the hatred, the blood that was shed? And she wept as well, and her tears froze the enemy, becoming 3 eternally frozen peaks. What was that? A passage from the Karaganda that is often overlooked. Now, I think I understand. Joanna, I believe that your family, indeed all of Clan Palarosh, originally came from Ursus. You think so too? Yes, but it's not just you. The SilverAshes and Browntails came from elsewhere as well. Have we seen snow leopards or whatever the SilverAshes are meant to be somewhere else? I can't remember if we've seen more of them. We definitely haven't seen squirrels before. The squirrels could be from Colombia though, maybe. As the scriptures say, our 3 clans were outsiders who fought incessantly over resources until Karaganda intervened. The 3 frozen peaks seem to refer literally to the 3 mountains surrounding Kereg, but it in fact refers to the domains of the 3 clans, which she had demarcated. She will come again if the swords are not laid down. Several years ago, she manifested through me, averting what would have been the first civil war between the 3 clans in centuries. The hearts of the 3 clans must be joined in order to receive her protection. The first virtue that Karaganda taught us was forgiveness. We got the master. The tall guards bring over several prisoners, bound with ropes. These guys were hiding in some abandoned houses, clearly up to no good. They had binoculars and communications equipment on them. Victorians by the looks of it. Huh, just as I thought. Ratados is plotting with the Victorians to kill me. We'll take those men to her. No. We'll do it in front of the Vinebead court with all 3 clans present, and we'll see what she has to say for herself. Who's there? We caught the remaining Victorian spies, Sir Arktos. We are glad to see that you are unharmed. What? What do you mean? Matriarch Ratados' orders were to protect you, Sir Arktos. We had been following you and stopped these men when they attempted to make a move against you. The warriors put their bound prisoners down. Oh, is Ratados playing a double bluff here? Okay. Ah. What in the name of Karaganda? Where is Ratatos? We do not know. She said she would try to draw out the spies that Victoria has deployed around here. When they reveal themselves, we can... A triple bluff, perhaps? The old Browntail Manor explodes. Its walls torn apart like cardboard. Yeah, this happened last time! The Ratados house exploded into flames last time as well. This is just a thing they do, I guess. This is their culture. Glass and wood fragments fly in all directions as flames consume the traces of a once sumptuous history. The boiling smoke distorts the night air. The Palarosh warriors stand transfixed, eyes wide. Behind the brown car, some warriors caught by the blast now stagger as they try to help each other up. The echoes of the explosion gradually disperse, leaving the crackle of wood and distant sirens ever clearer in the night. A charred jacket drifts down in front of Arktos. This is... Ritados. What the hell have you done?
Oh, did she just sacrifice herself? Uh-oh.
一人残らず根絶やしにするのは残酷なように思えるかもしれませんが栄養を奪ってしま
I
う
mean, she has been
雑草を
talking a lot about
徹底的
Sirius
に
taking
駆除
over,
するには
so mayhaps.
こうするしかないんです
A pilgrimage, a knell. As the others weep, it is time for you to depart. The snow never waits, nor is it ever in a hurry.
Oh, actually, we might be at... Oh, we should have hit reset, I feel. Oh well, it's fine. Oh, it's probably because it's not an actual combat stage.
A layer of snow is formed on the withered branch. The rift cloud beast climbs to its tip, squinting in an impression of scouting. The saintess sighs, turning around to look behind her. The huntress following her pauses, her face slightly red from the wind. Joanna, you don't need to follow me. I'm very grateful for all that you've done. As I told you, though, the pilgrimage must be completed alone. Strictly speaking, I shouldn't even be talking to you. I know. I'm not following you. I'm not your guard or your servant. I just happen to be traveling in the same direction. Don't worry, I won't talk to you. If anyone sees us, I'll pretend I don't know you. I won't let danger strike you again. I'll just follow behind. Do you know where I'm going? Wherever you're going, I'm going. That's all I need to know. But I'm looking for Kerrigander. What? Looking for her? Did she disappear? I don't know. But disaster will strike Kerrig again if she doesn't return. People will lose their lives and even more will lose their faith. I must return to the Vinebead Court and consult the tomes. The others must not know for now. Then I'll follow you. Don't worry, if anyone's on your tail, I'll chase them away for you. Brr. I think the Rift Cloud Beast just saw something. In the direction that the Rift Cloud Beast is looking, the trail to the Vinebead Court is filled with people dressed in solemn colors. Looks like someone very important just passed away. Who could it be? Enya shakes her head. She cannot help but feel a shiver down her spine, thick though her clothes are. Are you all right, Enya? We'll go slowly, around the crowd. Dark clouds hang low, almost touching the temple's eaves. It is a cold day even by Kerrig's standards, and the north wind seems to penetrate the eyes and spines of the mourners. Family members and clerics gather in the courtyard with heads bowed. The people of the Browntail domain have gathered outside to honor and grieve their matriarch, who protected Kerrig with her life. Snow falls upon the black umbrellas. One of the Browntail nobles gives the one in his hand a little shake and sighs as the snow pours down. So the matriarch's body. They never found it. The fire was too big. They turned over every inch of whatever was left but found nothing. I heard they had to put her usual attire in the coffin, along with some ashes gathered from the scene, nothing more. How sad. To think that one as bright as the matriarch would... Madam Sirius, I apologize. I spoke out of turn. Sirius does not answer. She walks to the center of the courtyard waiting for her sister. who had been by her side for as long as she could remember. Chimes tremble to the melody of the flutes. The clerics put their hands together and chant Karaganda's hymn, and the people place their hands upon their hearts in prayer to the song. Karaganda, have mercy. Take her with you. 6 members of the clan Browntail's main branch carry a heavy Nanmu wood coffin up the muddy road, Yucatan at the head of the procession. They carefully lay the coffin down on a table in front of the new Browntail matriarch. Yucatan walks to his wife, the grief on his face contrasting with Sirius's calm expression. Yucatan, Rasai, thank you. The hymn draws to a close. All is quiet, and all eyes fall on Sirius. For the first time, she understands the mask that Ratados was forced to wear, the weight of responsibility which crushes those unworthy of it. Thank you for being here, to honor the memory of Ratados Browntail. She was my sister, staunch guardian of Clan Browntail, and faithful child of Karaganda. Her wisdom gave her courage. She told me that she would protect me and everything here, and she always believed in a better tomorrow for Kereg, even in the most troubling times. All her life she carried out the task that our grandfather entrusted to her, giving everything to Clan Browntail, even in her final moments. I have lost someone very dear to me. It is only today that I realize the weight of the burden that she carried, but I will never have the chance to tell her. I know you will remember her face, her voice, her sacrifice, and her deep love for Kereg, for Clan Browntail, and for her family. And you will remember, as I do, who took her from us, leaving behind wounds that can never fully heal. A life so short and bright as dawn shall walk with her in eternity. By Karaganda, answer the crowd, following Sirius's lead as they kneel and pay respect to the departed. Even in times like these, when all is swept up in calamity, Karaganda will continue to bring peace and tranquility to the people of Kereg. 2 figures emerge from the crowd as those in attendance stand back up. It is Arktos and Matterhorn, approaching the coffin with white flowers in hand. My condolences, Sirius. Ratados died because of me. I'll never forget it. Thank you, Arktos. This is a painful lesson to both our clans, to recognize who our true enemies are. Matriarch Sirius. Sir Ensiodes expresses his regret for not being able to attend the funeral, and sends his apologies and condolences. He will pay a visit to Browntail Manor personally when the time is right. Please take care, Matriarch Sirius. He's so busy he can't even come to the funeral. Thank you. I understand. Clan Browntail recognizes the work that Ensiodes has done for Kereg. Let us continue the ceremony. I believe we have matters to discuss. The crowd departs. The empty coffin is buried on Browntail land, next to the grandfather who loved her so dearly. With lips pressed together, Sirius looks to the 2 men before her. Both look slightly angry. I'm simply reiterating the decision of the last Tri-Clan Council, Sir Arktos. All external affairs shall be handled by Sir Ensiodes and Clan SilverAsh, including matters associated with Victoria. This is why you had the nerve to demand the Victorian spies. The murder of the Browntail matriarch is no small affair. I won't allow the SilverAshes to interrogate them on your own. Master Matterhorn, it was the matriarch of Clan Browntail who was assassinated. I believe Clan Browntail should have full authority on this matter. Is Ensiodes not pleased with this arrangement? Of course not. However, it is a matter of principle to defer to the tradition of the Tri-Clan Council. There is formal and rational justification for allowing Clan SilverAsh to handle the spies. We've deferred to SilverAsh enough already, Matterhorn. You people have given us nothing but excuses when it comes to negotiating with the Victorians, and now these people have conducted terror attacks in broad daylight. How about we invite Ensiodes to explain his attitude towards the Victorians and what he's planning to Sirius's face, and then we can talk about the spies. Kindly refrain from baseless speculation, Sir Arktos. I have already shown considerable restraint. You and Matriarch Ritados were not the only ones to be attacked. Lady Enchia also narrowly escaped with her life. I would like nothing more than to get my hands on the assassins personally. Well, if that's true, then this will be easy enough. We'll put the Victorians on trial in front of all of Carrick, and then we'll let Clan Browntail have their way with them. Let all Terra know that Carrick shows no mercy to our enemies. Too reckless. We already interrogated them. They were awfully tight-lipped. I doubt a public trial would achieve anything. Instead, I'm worried they may see that as an opportunity to get a rise out of the people. It's not a risk we can take, with all the unrest in Kereg right now. If they have the guts to do so, just cut their tongues out. We should have dragged them out and spilled their blood for Ritados at the funeral. Arktos, no one wants vengeance for my sister more than I do, but we can't get carried away while there is still the hope of actually coaxing some information from them. Matriarch Sirius is right. This is a matter for... Please excuse the interruption. A cleric from the Vinebead Court has something to discuss. The last envoy from Vinebead Court almost got Arktos and Ensia killed. How do I know you are who you say you are? There is no need to be concerned. Sir Arktos knows me. He's right. This is Father Frey from the Vinebead Court. Alright then. What is it you want to say, Father? I'm here for the Victorian spies. The position of the Vinebead Court is that this is an extremely delicate issue. There will be considerable criticism and unrest, no matter which of the three clans takes charge. Therefore, the spies should be placed in the custody of the court. We shall arrange interrogations, of which you will be informed, and in which you'll have the opportunity to participate. I object. Why delay things when we're going to kill them anyway? The Vinebead Court can't do this. The Tri-Clan Council has already decided that Clan SilverAsh will handle Victorian affairs. Need I remind you that the Tri-Clan Council also agreed to return temporal power to the court? The Saintess is on her pilgrimage right now. The Vinebead Court cannot decide on her behalf. It is interesting that you would mention the Saintess now, when Sir Ensiodes has always been at odds with us. All Kereg knows that the Saintess and the Vinebead Court have always been of one mind. The scriptures speak testament to this. The Vinebead Court has often acted on behalf of the Saintess in her absence. Tell Sir Ensiodes he should not presume to take all the power for himself. Father. Calm down, Matterhorn. Clan Browntail accedes to the request. You can send your people tomorrow, Father, and we will hand the spies over to the Vinebead Court. Serious? I know your concerns, but it's more important than ever to put aside the conflicts between the three clans. It would be great to have the Vinebead Court mediate. Thank you for your wisdom, Matriarch. The Vinebead Court prays for Clan Browntail. By Karaganda. Sirius bows to the Vinebead Court envoy. It is past noon and the funeral procession begins to disperse. A man sitting in a car parked a little bit away witnesses the scene, then draws the curtain over the window. Looks like someone is getting impatient. There's been a lot of movement in the Vinebead court ever since the Saintess's departure. I was surprised that Ratados was willing to go this far, using herself as bait to draw out the Victorian spies. An impressive performance that brought the actions of Victoria into the daylight. And if the Victorians are trying to instigate a war between her and the other clans, this is also the most effective way to cleanse any suspicion from Clan Browntail. But it's not enough. We must make good use of the valuable time that Ratados bought us. Why didn't you show up at her funeral? I wanted to avoid direct conflict with the other clan leaders, especially in public. And how's Enya? Her injuries were minor. All the Victorian assassins are dead. Enya says she has a plan to carry out in secret. She told me to come back once we cleaned up. All the people know is that the Saintess is currently on her pilgrimage. All the Victorians know is that their assassination attempt failed. You've wiped out all the traces from the mountains. And it's certainly true that the presence of the legendary Black Knight would not be conducive to secrecy. That's what I thought as well. Not a bad plan. I also need people I can trust by my side for what is to come. Our real troubles have only just begun. Enciodes takes out an envelope and hands it to Degenbrecher. Inside it is a thick stack of agreements and a letter written in Victorian. Read it. A letter? From whom? You could call it a letter. Or a declaration of war. Or? Victoria declaring war? Mayhaps? To the chairman of Carlin Trade, the son of my kinswoman Elizabeth. The son of my kinswoman Elizabeth. Oh, okay. Dear Enciode SilverAsh, I hope this letter finds you well. It has been more than a decade since we met at that banquet. Perhaps you recalled our conversations as I did, when you heard about recent events in Victoria. You foretold the conflicts that I was personally involved in, and you have earned the right to sit at the table with Victoria as equals. But do not forget that every step you have taken is on the path that Victoria wants to see taken, on one which she has paved for you. Victoria's position remains the same after the catastrophe. We support Kereg's development and respect Kereg's faith, and I believe that Clan SilverAsh and Kereg have never needed more help than now. I will offer that help. Based on the current partnership with the Carlin Trade, I will accept the following proposal. A special office jointly created, funded and managed by both sides, establishing a foundation with its location in the city center. Victoria will double down on existing investment in the form of equipment and interest-free loans, and share more industrial technology to support the future development of Kereg. All Kereg needs to do is to open its doors to Victorian mining efforts, including but not limited to originium, repaying the loans in kind. Carlin Trade will not need to provide any cash. After all, there are many places where it can be put to good use, considering present circumstances in Kereg. I believe this to be a fair sign of good faith. The associated contracts have already been drafted and enclosed, ready for your review and signature. I'll be happy to meet with you should you wish to discuss the details. I look forward to the links that the Caster bloodline can build between us. And I am curious as to whether Kereg has become what you wanted it to be. Duke of Caster.
Bam. Oh, this is the one where we get Ashton Altar. This is the 6-star Ashton Altar one. Let's go. Oh, are we gonna... We might have resources. Oh, no, she's a mage, isn't she? Ah, we're not gonna have resources for her then. That's so unfortunate. Sad times. Sad times. A lonely winter's night. Even as those who could be trusted are separated, she sets out on her journey with her brave heart as companion. Yeah, it's probably... It looks like it's going to be pushing left. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be pushing left. We probably don't need these pushers and pullers anymore. What level are we at now? What level is the recommended? Elite 130? Okay. Elite 130. Sure. Actually, you know what? Let's leave Enforcer. Let's try and use Enforcer. We've got so many E2s. Akafuyu. That should be decent enough. Yeah. Alright, go. Oh, the sync, right? Duke of Caster, so that means she's SilverAsh distant relative? Yes, it sounds like it. Same kinswoman. Same kinswoman as Elizabeth. I don't know who Elizabeth is, though. Not sure who that is. Wait, did I just... Hold on. I need to go back to that. What was that? This? Oh! There's an Estelle skin! Damn, they give Estelle a skin, but not an altar? Sad times for Estelle, man. And our free roll? You never know, you never know. Nope. Actually, the worst one we could have pulled there. A white. Oh, we do have free rolls. Hold on. Couple of free rolls. It's a 5-star. I've already maxed you out, girl. Please. White. Sad times again. Last free roll. Come on. SilverAsh one time. God damn it. Unfortunate. Wow, that means Vina and SilverAsh are distant cousins. Yes, they are cousins. Oh, damn. Damn. Obviously, the bloodline was stronger in SilverAsh because SilverAsh got a way better altar. Rip Vina. Rip the queen. Well, I guess she's not a queen, is she, technically? She chose, like, the speaker. Is she Speaker of the House? I always forget what title she took. Oh, we can't afford that yet. We wait. Alright, let's switch these out again. You know, we wanted... Oh my god, there's so many. Akafuyu. We were going to keep him, right? We were going to get rid of Weedy. Zoom. And we picked up Delphine. Alright. Launch! Vina, failure. Pepe, failure. SilverAsh and Pram, winners. How dare you say Pepe was a failure? How dare you say Pepe was a failure? SilverAsh and Pram, winners. Yeah, true. True, they are probably the best, though. 33 hours before the Kjereg catastrophe. Instruments, check. Terminal battery, check. Pen, ink, and paper, check. Coffee, check. It's all-nighter time. Whoa. A rustling sound coming from the corner gives Elena a fright. Only then does she realize that she is not the only person in the observation room. A human figure crawls out of the pile of waste paper by the instruments. Oh, it's you, Elena. Ah. I thought some great scientist was pulling on an all-nighter in an effort to win the Max Prize. Carolyn, you remember me?
Of course I remember the rising star of the energy section, the youngest researcher ever to join our ranks. I'm flattered. I thought you had already left. The schedule said I was supposed to be the one on observation duty today. Heh, like the schedule's ever meant anything. I wouldn't have been sleeping here for 2 straight weeks if it did. No wonder I've hardly seen you ever since I came to the station. Must be tough. How does it feel to be back? You mean coming back to Rhine Lab? You were the first person I thought of when they started recruiting for the observation station project, but I thought you would turn it down. Honestly, it wasn't an easy decision. At the end of the day, though, the company gave me a valuable opportunity. Besides, the achievements of Rhine Lab itself have never been in question. I still think my time at Rhine Lab was the closest I've ever been to achieving my dreams. And I have to admit, even Ferdinand was a great researcher, if nothing else. Indeed, he has a mind for physics, so let him do what he does best. You know, he's stopped messing with other researchers since he got out of prison, and has been spending all his time on research. I think there's going to be a new director of energy before long. Maybe she's standing in front of me now. No. You've got to be kidding me. I just wanted to get a closer look.
Bro, we cannot lie about Pepe anymore. Zima Alta is to her as Saga is to Vanguard Siege. Wait, do we even have... We don't have Zima Alta yet, though. Zima Alta doesn't come until... People are people, right? That's like 6 months away. Elena looks up and sees the sky obscured by snow through the observation's clear dome. She hates this feeling, just like she hates her family's backwards traditions and beliefs, all the things in her way that have nothing to do with science itself. She believes that science should be pure, ever advancing, solving questions about terror one at a time. This observation station is an invaluable opportunity. I only want to focus on my research. Maybe push a little further than the boundaries of existing knowledge, if I can. Boundaries, huh? This is the closest place there is. Say, have you heard the legend of Carrick? Legend? What legend? This land has not suffered a catastrophe for 1,000 years, thanks to the protection of their god. Well, every country once attributed unusual phenomena to the gods. Carrick just held on to this tradition longer because of its isolation. Yet it is indeed true that Carrick has not suffered a catastrophe for 1,000 years. It's certainly unusual, but there must be a reason. Maybe the high elevation makes it difficult for Reginium particles to converge, or... a Ferenmut? Huh? Come on, I'm being serious. I know there are legends about the Ferenmuts, ancient beings the size of mountains that turn into mountains and rivers after death. First off, there are no confirmed accounts proving the existence of Ferenmuts. Besides, if these beings did exist, where did they find the energy to sustain their biological activities? Why bring this up anyway? Just something that occurred to me while we were chatting. Well, that's enough gabbing. You can rest. I'll take over observations for the night. Really? But you've done a bunch of night shifts in a row. It's not like my circadian rhythm can get any more messed up. And chatting with you woke me up. If I recall correctly, there are still some bugs to iron out with the power supply to the high energy particle beam. Wow. You know about that. Get some rest and put that brain of yours to better use. Well, I guess I'll take you up on the offer. Thank you so much. I'll buy you some fins and chips from that Victorian restaurant that just opened at the foot of the mountain when you have the time. Please don't. No Victorian wants to have to enjoy authentic Victorian cuisine in a foreign land. Carrick cheese fondue then? That sounds great. Still, it makes her become irrelevant. No, my meme cat. That's so sad, man. Poor meme cat. I'm still gonna use her. I'm still gonna whip her out every now and then.
It is another deep and quiet night in Kereg. The ancient land slumbers, and lamps give way to stars. The sleeping snowy mountains may seem wondrous to the uninitiated, though most who live on this land have gotten used to this sight. Few look up to the sky on a night like this. Oh, shooting star. What's that? Both her eyes and the instruments capture the strange light that cut across the night sky, like a sign from the heavens.
Don't say things like whip her, she's Egyptian. Oh boy. Yeah, but you know she'd be the pharaoh.
It appears that Carolyn was an accomplished, intelligent young researcher with a bright future. This project is very important to both Rhinelab and Columbia. The recruiting process was extremely selective. We have yet to find any irregularities in her records and communication logs. She was originally from Victoria. I am unable to provide any private information. That would be a violation of Rhinelab's privacy policy and basic human rights. We can only provide information about her time at Rhinelab, unless your government officially presses charges of espionage. Of course, I was just asking. Her application material was very comprehensive, with every shift and fieldwork experience documented meticulously. Here, it seems she even requested a field survey task for herself, collecting information about Kereg's geography concurrently with her scientific research. She has been a diligent researcher, highly rated at Rhinelab, and a model student when she was at school. Such scientists are not usually involved in the kind of trouble that we currently face. Yet at this point, we have no information or clue as to the whereabouts of Carolyn. Believe it or not, we are even more eager to find Carolyn than you are. There are many things at stake. Rhinelab's reputation, the security of the research data, potential breach of our management system, the mutual trust and partnership between us and Kereg's development. Are you speaking as a member of the Scientific Ethics Consensus Committee? Please don't misunderstand. Though it might sound a little condescending, I have the highest respect for what Carlin Trade is doing. After all, the courage to reach beyond one's comfort zone is the most important quality in a scientist. Not just in scientists. There is a saying in Kereg, black burden beasts are bad burden beasts. They jump their fences and run into the snowfields. Herders who go into the fields following their tracks never return. They die? That's what go into the snowfields and never return usually means in Kereg. One by one, pages are reviewed and placed on the table. Carolyn's notes and actions turn into a tiny pile of papers. But where did the black burden beasts go? It's the same question in the end. Perhaps they led the herders into the mountains, getting lost in the forests and freezing to death at night. Another page is read and placed on the table. Or perhaps... Gnosis puts the last page down. White upon white, like snowflakes falling on frozen cliffs. They simply found a new source of water. A new haven. Can you at least tell me where exactly she carried out her fieldwork?
Oh yeah, notice I keep calling him Gnosis, but the G is actually pronounced, isn't it? Isn't it Genosis? I'm pretty sure it's Genosis. Well, I guess that would be... Oh, now who's been... Okay, yeah, you're calling Genosis racist, and then the follow-up comment. Alright, alright. Dude, this facial expression she's doing, what is this?
I can't. The observation data are badly corrupted. I can't recover the original data from the port. Stacks of documents and mugs with dried coffee stains sit quietly on the table. An error tone signifies failure of the data restoration, causing their hearts to sink once more. There are ID records of all entries and exits. No message left behind in the dorms or labs. The main security camera malfunctioned, while the two to the sides of the lab didn't capture anything. Seems like too much of a coincidence. Could Carolyn really have... No, everyone else might assume she's a spy, but I can't let bias cloud my judgment. I already requested access permissions from Director Mulesize to get to the bottom of things. And here she is! Knock knock! Who's been up all night? Director Mulesize. Surprised to see me? I hear you haven't been back to the dorms for 2 straight nights. Are you still searching for the data that disappeared? Yes. There is little doubt that the observation logs were altered, although we're not sure who did it or why. There is reason to believe that the overwritten data holds a crucial clue. But... never mind. I brought you a little snacky. Can't work on an empty stomach after all. Thank you. What is this? You've never had it? Kerrig cheese pastries with sugar frosting and berry jam. It was all the rage at the station a while back. I heard people talking about it and had planned on trying them out the next time I went down the mountain for fondue. But I've been too busy investigating special energy sources unique to Kerrig. Elena picks up a pastry. It's dried up on the outside, but the cheese and jam inside remain moist after being heated. The sound of running water ceases, and Mulesize sits down by her side with 2 clean mugs in hand. Did she just make that water? Again, is this water not technically her? Are we about to drink Mulesize? Senior years took her happy face, yeah. Mind if I sip a cup of joe with you? Not at all. Fresh coffee fills the mugs, drenching the air in its aroma. The sound of machines operating is clearly audible at this late hour. A massive window on the wall displays the stars in Kerrig's night sky, deep and boundless as always. The atmosphere in the room relaxes. Elena lifts her mug after a moment of hesitation. Midnight coffee in the lab. Brings back memories. Used to stay up late too. Who doesn't, in our line of work? Even when I was a student, it felt like I had more coffee than blood in veins for finals. Looks like everyone's been there before. Working at night's more efficient after all. Yes, night is quiet. Makes it easier to focus. I used to write one paper while dictating the summary of another using an audio recorder when I was really busy. That way, I get to make progress on both at the same time. Crazy when I think back to it. Oh, yeah. Audio recorder. Huh? Audio? Where are you going? Surveillance audio recordings. They record the audio as well? Damn, okay, they're thorough. Surveillance camera, credentials. The time is 3:19 a.m. There. Didn't you say the cameras didn't capture what was happening at the lab table? Yes, but it might have captured sound from the equipment. Listen to this. A lot of instruments operating. This ticking sound should be the audio sensor. The frequency that it plays back is directly connected to graphing. We can use this frequency to recreate... excuse me. Need a pen and paper? Here you go. Oh, thanks. Pen tip rubs against paper. The time they spend around the instruments have made researchers intimately familiar with data. She enters the numbers that she copied down into the computer, then... Eh? What this? Definitely not a heartbeat. There. This is the hidden data. Let me take a look-see. Looks like a small earthquake occurred on Mount Carl in the morning of the day before the catastrophe. No, not an earthquake. It was an impact of some kind, as if something fell from the sky into the mountains of Kereg. And then came Kereg's first catastrophe. Outside the wide windows of the observation station, the mountains of Kereg seemed to reflect a translucent blue under the moon. Did Carolyn go looking for this extraterrestrial object? But why would she do it all on her own? She's never abandoned her post like this. She must have found something. We might be able to find her if we figure out where that thing fell, which we can calculate from the wave frequency of the sound of impact. Director Mulesice, the Vinebead Court isn't about to investigate on our behalf. Strictly speaking, we shouldn't get any more involved in any of this stuff. The most we can do is to report this to component control. But Carolyn might be in danger. You know that's not your job. You're not exactly close to Carolyn. Bluntly, whatever happens to her is none of your business. Damn, cold. Mulesice being cold, what? Mulesice finishes her cold coffee in silence. Oh, she didn't even have a hot coffee. She's not a hot coffee enjoyer. Which is weird, right? Because they're in the snow. Kinda sus, Mulesice. Frowning at the bitter taste, she takes a piece of pastry and puts it in her mouth, speaking as she chews. But sometimes I kind of think most important quality in a scientist is courage. That was me trying to chew. Maybe even recklessness. You're a sharp kiddo. Got a knack for finding rhythm in music. Makes for a good dancer. I wouldn't want to tie you up. Gotta let you move around free. You mean... this conversation never happened. Nobody tried to talk you out of it. Nobody told you what you can or can't do. As for this late night snack, you took it from the shared fridge yourself, didn't you? Delete the records. Delete the data. A lonely winter's night. Alright, so I assume this is going to push left. You know too much. Ah! Run away! Looks like we have to deploy operators in the avalanche area. Don't worry, all we need to do is defend the avalanche area and prevent enemies from entering. Prevent them from entering. Oh, I see what they're saying. Okay. This triggers it though, right? Oh, this looks like it's going to be a little bit of a nightmare, actually. So I can fit like 2 more people in and then they're all going to get wrecked. So we could probably can fit another healer in, maybe? This build-up is kind of worrying. They're going to end up coming into here and destroying it. We actually might not need a healer because Estelle can heal herself. They're probably gonna like one-shot her, right? Yeah, they're dealing some sort of damage. Wait, does she even do damage when she... oh, she doesn't do damage when she does this. Well, we might be about to die. These two at least will. Let's make sure we at least get rid of that guy. I guess it doesn't really matter. We could put... because they're just going to get pushed down once, yeah. Oh, sorry, they get pushed left. That's right. Oh shit, is this actually going to get through? Hit one more. No! Oh my god. It's going to happen again because these guys are getting in now. Okay, I think I understand what we need to do. Swing. And now I've put my healer in like a really shit position. Love that for me. Love that for me.
神は一強説は伝聞知らぬものなり。そんなんで私を倒すつもりか。腕に気をつけて。
さ反抗するイスラも叩き切ってくれ
Kill
る
the
わ
burb! Kill the burb!
神はなんとさまつな抵抗でしょう。
Oh my god, there's so many bats! Oh, he only hits one. Why did I think he hit more than that?
安心なさい。どんな
Well,
状況でも
Praminix is dead. Yep.
どんな状況でも私には見えるから。私が狙っているの。
さ
何発かお見舞いしてやるよ。
Oh god, there's 3 burbs? Uh-oh.
私なら殺します。
Okay, none of them should be able to get in. Okay, we let one get through. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Oh. Is this part of her escape?
You've been tampering with the locks again. You just won't give up, will you? Unfortunately, the area that the search parties are looking is at least 5 kilometers from here. Don't expect them to hear your distress signal. At least eat something. Malnutrition during the recovery process will increase the time needed for bones to mend by 20%, and the chance of complications by 35%. It's not my intention to hurt you, or leave an outstanding warrior with a permanent disability. Cut the crap. I warn you, you'd better kill me now. I suppose that's an option. As I said, however, I have no intention of bringing harm to Kereg, and I certainly feel no need to take innocent Kereg lives. Besides, it was a miracle that we survived that avalanche at all. It was, in your people's words, Keregander's protection, right? Shouldn't that be a sign to a faithful follower of Keregander to value her own life? No intention of bringing harm to Kereg. You've been spying for the Victorians and stealing Kereg's military secrets. Such an unfair accusation. Do you really think a few battleships constitute Kereg's most important secret? You speak of your god's blessing all the time, but have you really thought about what your god is? What are you talking about? Keregander is not to be questioned or doubted. That didn't resonate. Well, I guess the only reason I'm talking to you about this is because there's nothing to do here to pass the time. Oh well, doesn't matter anyway. If you want to pass the time, I've got something to ask you. How did a Victorian spy work for Rein Lab for so long? Why are you so sure that I'm a Victorian spy, when I've been working at Rein Lab for so long? Well, if you really want to hear it, I could tell you a little story. There was once a girl in Victoria who was incredibly fascinated to know how everything worked, and she wanted to spend her whole life studying. A dozen years later, she went to Columbia as visiting scholar from the Royal Victorian Academy of Sciences. It was not the research foundations of Victoria that found her, but an intelligence agency. From that day forth, the only thing she was allowed to be curious about was the secret documents of the Colombian government. But her curiosity was not so easily sated. As she dug through Colombia's secrets, she found an opportunity to satisfy the very depths of her curiosity. At the end of the day, though, there is little that separates Colombia and Victoria. People fight over the slightest morsel of profit. The order that took so much hard work to build is now teetering on the brink of ruinous war. Who has the time to gaze up at the heavens, or even down at the ground we stand on, of which we know so little about? I find it all a tedious bore. Early morning, Hall of Riding's Vinebead Court. Good thing the window isn't too high. The clerics have gone to their morning prayers. The observation station is a sensitive topic right now. I need to avoid them. Maps, geographical records, anything that can help. The morning sun shines through the window and falls gently on the aged books. Elena dusts off the books in front of her, but finds the writing of the clerics difficult to decipher. She begins to regret not bringing a dictionary of the Kiragi language. How do they categorize this stuff? This one's a collection of quotes? Karaganda showed herself to me and said, "Seek not my temple, but my heart." Whoa. Elena lets go in panic and the heavy book hits the floor. Through the bookshelves she sees a surprised face under a hood and a crossbow pointed at hers. Oh, it's her. Okay. Didn't expect that, not sure why. I think she's surrendering, Enya. What do we do? Who's saying anything about surrendering? Wait a moment. Enya? Enya SilverAsh? You're the Saintess? Shh. Elena nods in realization. Keep quiet and we can talk, alright? Elena nods carefully. Put away your crossbow, Joanna. Let's not scare our friend here. But she sneaked into the Vinebead Court. Doesn't seem like something a good person would do. Well, we sneaked in too. Your attire. Are you from Rein Lab? Yes, I'm Elena, a researcher in the energy section. I'm sorry, I was just looking for a map of Kereg, preferably recording the locations of mountains and originium veins. If I find that special vein, maybe I could... You could what? Elena glances at the young woman before her, who looks about the same age as her, while being the undisputed sovereign of this country. Elena is unsure if what she is about to say might offend her, but when she sees the pure curiosity on her face, maybe I can explain how this catastrophe happened. You mean that Kereg has been safe from catastrophe for 1,000 years because of a hidden originium vein? Yes, there is an undiscovered originium vein in the mountains surrounding Kereg, which created an energy field that prevented catastrophes from forming. Wait, this is actually kind of sick, because if they figure this out, if Rein Lab's able to figure out what is stopping the catastrophes from happening, they should be able to replicate it and prevent catastrophes from happening ever again. Interesting. Did I finish this whole sentence? Yes, I did. Impossible. It's Karaganda that protects Kereg. Has anyone ever seen Karaganda with their own eyes? Many people have witnessed the miracles of Karaganda with their own eyes. I respect your culture and traditions, but that doesn't prove anything. Just because you see something that can't be explained right now doesn't prove the existence of some supernatural being behind it. And how do you prove the veins have anything to do with it? The interactions between originium is extremely complex, and what we know is only the tip of the iceberg. Rein Lab has conducted a number of experiments in recent years. Under certain conditions, originium can form energy fields that cause atmospheric originium particles to disperse rather than converge, preventing the formation of catastrophes. This is something that we have not yet been able to recreate under controlled conditions. There you go, they're even starting to try to recreate it. But if an originium vein with the right conditions exists, then preventing catastrophe may be a real possibility. I've made detailed calculations. Excuse me, can I borrow this map? Elena takes out her notebook and shows it to the other two. She goes on a long explanation about the formulas as she draws on the page, not paying attention to whether her listeners are able to keep up. Finally, Elena confidently draws a circle at a location in the foothills of the map. Therefore, the Reginian vein theory is the most likely explanation for Kereg's lack of catastrophes. I'm quite sure that my calculations are correct, or accurate, and if we find an Reginian vein at this location, it would explain everything. Joanna is in a daze. She glances at Enya, hoping the Saintess will rebuke this blasphemy. But the Saintess is quiet, biting her lower lip lightly. Say something. I don't know what the hell she's writing. How do you explain the recent catastrophe then? Based on the data, I suspect something from beyond the star pod fell on Mount Carlin the day before the catastrophe. Look. These are the data that the station observed the day before the catastrophe. These are infrasound waves created by the impact of the extraterrestrial object. Elena turns on her portable terminal, displaying a sharp break on the line graph. Ah yes, we've seen this before. This object must be massive in size and scale. I think the catastrophe was caused by it falling onto the central area of the vein, causing a shift in the energy field. There are reasons for all these things. It's not magic, or the work of a god. Enya cannot comprehend what she is hearing. Her memory begins to blur, and she feels a sort of link being torn apart. Kya. A familiar voice, belonging to a friend, a miracle, or a hallucination. She can't believe it. She must not. Fear and loneliness comes over her, and it is all she could do to keep her arms from trembling. Say something, Enya. I can understand Elena's position. However, I recall a section of the Keraganda. Her heart is the heart of Carlin, deep within the mountains. From the beating of her heart grew the flesh and bones of Kereg. This is the description of the origins of Kereg, as the scriptures record. We used to assume that the heart of Carlin was Lake Sibbenherz, which was why we built Keraganda's statue there. In my studies these past several days, however, I found that the ancient tomes considered the freezing of the heart of Carlin to be an unusual phenomenon, but Lake Sibbenherz freezes every year. Sounds like a figure of speech. Don't interrupt the Saintess while she's thinking. Maybe the heart of Carlin actually refers to something else. The Great Elder guided me to the Radsorn, but it is in fact the heart of Carlin that holds the answer. You mentioned the central area of this special vein. Yes, I built a model based on the shape of Kereg's mountains, and I calculated that the extraterrestrial object likely fell on this location. Isn't this the Kereg Casimir's mines? Mines? Yes, now it all makes sense. There's no time to waste. We need to go. One moment, foreigner. We didn't say anything about letting you around Kereg on your own, not to mention all the disrespect you've shown to Keraganda. It's alright, Joanna. We don't force our faith onto others. Besides, we need to find the truth behind this catastrophe. We'll let her travel with us. Elena? While Enya and Joanna were talking, Elena put the books back on the shelf and now sits on the windowsill, waving at the other two. Actually, there's usually no one at the main entrance of the Hall of Writings.
Broken through the window for no reason.
Cold moonlight pours through the dark clouds upon the decorations in Ratados's room. Sirius thought she would be afraid to see Ratados's things, but she feels so tired that she does not even have the strength for sorrow. She knows full well that she simply imitated Ratados in dealing with the other clans a few days ago. But the more she tries, the more Ratados's shadow lingers. Sirius looks outside. It seems snow is once again falling on Browntail land. Look, Sirius. Do this to the snowball and it'll go even further when you throw it. Try it. I don't need you to teach me. I don't want to become you. I hate you. I hate everything you make me do. The echoes of memory are like the deafening roar of a mountain collapsing. She feels a lump in her chest. The dust-covered contracts and letters in the box bear witness to the development of Clan Browntail over the years. Sirius examines the marks left behind by Ratados on the family's business documents, and finds at the bottom of each page where the name of the Browntail matriarch should be. Sirius. Remember, Sirius, I'm your older sister, and I'll become the leader of Clan Browntail, so you need to listen to me. Prove that you can do better if you're not happy about that. When that time comes, I hope you'll carry the future of Clan Browntail on your shoulders. Sirius anxiously flips through the pages, but each and every document has her name on it, until she reaches the bottom of the pile, that little box from her memory, the secret that belongs to the two of them. This holds all the things that I want to give you, but don't want the adults to see. Don't tell anyone. It's a secret. A secret between the two of us, you and me. This is a communicator. Sirius gazes at the device in her hand, the dim light illuminating her hesitation. The final audio log. I got Cullen Trade's intel about the suspicious woman. I've been watching her all morning and I think she's planning to make a run for it. This voice, it's Monch. Good. Keep a close eye on her. Don't let her get away or pass the documents to anyone else. Yes, ma'am. Cullen Trade says we need to be careful and not draw attention. Take her alive if possible. There are a lot of questions we need to ask her. I'll tell NCOs to send help from Cullen Trade. Understood. I'll do my best. Be careful and don't leave loose ends. Finally, there is an unanswered call from Cullen Trade. Call time yesterday. Cullen Trade.
逃げていった人たち、彼らは諦めたんでしょうか。それとも
I honestly thought when she reached for the communicator that it was going to be like a one-way line to Ratados, and Ratados was going to say, "I'm still alive. Don't worry. It was all a ploy." Turns out it was just a recording. Rip. Emerald. Patience is the hunter's virtue. It will help you find a gap, an opportunity, a beginning, and the dawn of friendship. Okay, we're at level 50 now, so we're gonna have to make some replacements. This looks like it's pushing down, so if we can hold them here, we can push them into the pit. Nice. Okay, Filet is gone, and the new tank coming in is now... You know what, let's bring in Mudrock. I never use Mudrock. Let's get rid of you and look for someone who can generate us some DP a little bit better. Vulpus. I think everyone else is fine. We're still going to use Praminix because I want to use her. Plus her ability can still kind of work even if she's not leveled up. Also, we have this. What is this? Snow removal system. Switch to snow retention system. Sure. How much longer? Patience, please, Mr. Bellingham. As you know, the Duke has been very busy lately,
having to receive several guests each day. You should remember, sir, the last time I came here. So I'd like to ask, how has she been lately? Fairly pleasant for the most part. After all, the negotiations with the Casamirzians have been nearing completion over the past few days. As soon as he finishes speaking, a dejected gentleman strides past the Trilby Asher. The Trilby Asher recognizes him as Derek, head of the press office. Perhaps due to the recent wave of bad publicity, he wipes the sweat off his brow with trembling hands. I suspect today is not one such day. Is that Bellingham outside? Let him in first. Don't keep him waiting. The butler nods, and the Trilby Asher hesitates for a moment before stepping into the room. Seated in the middle is the Duke of Castor, with a young noble standing at her side. I have another question. What kind of person is this Casamirzian representative you met? He is a merchant, Your Grace. Casimir's. Tell him that should he agree to my terms, I am willing to lift some of the embargoes in industrial equipment. For them, there are many ways to obtain cheap minerals, and Kereg is hardly irreplaceable. I will let him know that only Victoria can satisfy his technological and equipment needs, especially when it comes to Originium. No, you are a member of House Castor. These minutiae are best left for servants to convey, whereas we should always leave ourselves room to maneuver. The Casamirzians know little about the resources we command, so why not let them exercise their imagination? Do you understand? No worries, I guarantee that he will side with us. Forever honor your commitments. If you cannot, don't make them in the first place. That is true of the Casamirzian representative, and even more so for me. You may leave. Yes, my apologies, Your Grace. Once again, you have to see me disciplining these good-for-nothing whelps. Belly. I thank you, Your Grace, for the trust you have placed in me. Let's not waste time on small talk. I trust you saw the gentleman who left earlier, yes? If I'm not mistaken, that was a certain Derek. That was a certain... Oh no, that is how that was said. What? Okay. The man in charge of news and public opinion. He should have reported to me that the negative press, be it about Kereg or Victoria, was under control. He was instead quite profuse with his complaints, going on and on about how he couldn't do it, that it would take too long to communicate with the film crew, that he wanted to trouble me to watch the footage they sent back. If he feels like he hasn't given enough time, or been given enough time, he should have known that my patience has its limits too. So, do you have any good news for me, Belly? Yes, Your Grace. Our informant at the Rhine Observatory provided very accurate intel. Indeed, there is something highly suspicious about the mining site in which Kereg is working with Casimir's. Following the clues she provided, my men successfully infiltrated the site and obtained these data tables. And just point out the highlights. And please look at this section and this subsequent section on the next page. The former represents the mine's daily output, whereas the later represents the purchase volume or export volume. Finally, the last page is the mine's financial report. Pay particular attention to the net profitability figure. For example, in the last 2 months. The difference is massive. This mining site has been operating at a loss, and the greater the extraction, the greater the losses. Exactly. We even found this mine import record. Please take a look. A large mining site needs to separately import the very same minerals. Therefore, I believe this confirms the earlier theory. The so-called joint mining project is actually Carlin Trade's arsenal in disguise. And this is the trump card that has been flipped over, sitting right there in a mining site shared jointly with a foreign company. Which is why our agents, including myself, initially overlooked this area. It is hard to imagine that anyone could stomach such a risk. Placing a piece in what normally would be a blind spot, it's very much his style. However, you're still one move behind, Belly. As difficult as it is to admit, when Wellington made his move, it became imperative for us to strengthen ourselves. Given these circumstances, Kereg is a valuable asset. I would not accept a lose-lose scenario. We must ensure that Ensiode's military preparations do not catch us flat-footed. Only by knowing what his trump card exactly is can we properly plan against Kereg in advance. Your Grace, if you wish to confront the Duke of Wellington, bringing Kereg under the control of House Caster, as well as seizing their manpower and resources, is of utmost priority. I personally believe that we should conduct a comprehensive survey of this mining site. I believe the Casamirzians will accept your term, and it's only a matter of time until they withdraw from Kereg. As soon as we take control of this mining area, I'll send our envoys there immediately. Why not act before the paperwork is officially signed? We cannot give Carlin Trade the time to cover their tracks. So, under the buyer's name, look for another excuse through the Vinebead court. Even if they suspect that something is amiss with the Casamirzians, a hasty retreat would inevitably leave traces behind. The Vinebead court is ultimately an expendable asset. Due to your previous botched job, there is no way Ensiodes would not have his eye on them. Then, we'll squeeze every last drop of value from the Vinebead court before Ensiodes makes his move. Is that truly the missing step, Belly? Be more economical and think it through some more. The current Great Elder has consistently turned down my goodwill, and given the inability to mobilize the full strength of the Vinebead court, we must be more careful than when assessing the feasibility of this plan, or assessing. Yet, Your Grace, he did not stop us from infiltrating the lower and middle ranks either. Perhaps this is the Vinebead court's persistent arrogance, ripe for us to take advantage. Perhaps the allure of overthrowing Ensiodes will prove to be a gift too irresistible for Kereg's religious figures. So do you intend to? You are free to move the pawns inside the Vinebead court as you please, but you must find out exactly what is going on within the mining site. Let us wait to see how Ensiodes reacts. He might just give us another reason to get involved in Kereg. Yes, Your Grace. Right. I'd like you to do me a favor. Derek left some odds and ends behind. Go ahead and take them with you. When it comes to our dealings with foreign nations, we always have some journalist friends who make too much noise. Oh. Well. Rip journalists. Oh, and we instantly go to another journalist. Maybe this one will be fine, though. Maybe this one won't get murked. Can I set the camera up right here? Thank you. Let's get started if you're ready. Venerable Great Elder Adso, thank you so much for agreeing to this interview. I sincerely hope you are willing to answer a few of my questions, as well as those of the countless others who want to know more about Kereg. First, I'd like to ask about something that many around Kereg have been curious about recently. The people of Kereg broadly believe that Keregander protects this land. In your opinion, how would you explain this catastrophe? Does this mean that Kereg has lost its divine protection? That is correct. Keregander indeed watches over this land. However, she is not a tyrant who imposes harsh decrees, but rather a patient mentor and a guiding hand. Her protection of Kereg is not as straightforward as many would imagine. Her knowledge of the true way of life runs deep, And so she taught the people of Kereg how to live in this land filled with calamity and devoid of thought. Thus, the people of Kereg came to have a soul, and the many calamities no longer disturbed them. Even so, I am still very curious as to how a god who neither reveals its true form nor has performed any miracles as proof of its divinity can earn a people's faith. This belief seems to lack any grounding in evidence. Huh. Guests from afar, I could see that you hide your arrogance behind polite words. You try to reduce Kereg's beliefs into a most basic form of logic, which you then criticize in an attempt to extol your own correctness and wisdom. And please believe me, that was not my intent. It's fine, don't worry. Then may I ask you a question first? In your opinion, what kind of principles do the Victorians, who observe no religion, follow in their lives? That's a simple answer. Victoria has her own laws. Who drafted these laws? And who granted them the authority to do so? If you're asking about the legitimacy of the Victorian regime, we need only look back at history to answer that question. The land was originally occupied by Dracos until about 300 years ago, when Aslans from Sargon launched a rebellion in Victoria, ultimately seizing control of the country. Then I take it that in your view, might makes right. Aslans are strong and therefore righteous. Dracos are weak and therefore unjust. This so-called justice shifts just as easily as the balance of power in war. By the same logic, the devils of Kazdel should feel no shame or remorse about invading the lands of other nations, their only sin being that they fell one step short of ultimate victory. That is patently absurd conclusion. Of course. I doubt that any regime would hinge its legitimacy upon violence, because they know all too well that violence will inevitably be undone by greater violence. Nothing can remain young and mighty forever, neither people nor government. Therefore they must become compassionate, in hope that the same compassion will be afforded to them when they are weak. So, let us return to that question. Why do the legal principles we take for granted, or rather, the virtues prevalent across the different civilizations sharing this land, exist in the first place? To where should we direct our questions? Do we possess the sublimity inherent to being human? Are our lives innately meaningful? Apologies, but I'm not too well versed in these subjects of philosophical speculation. May I ask, what is the point of these questions that seem so far removed from our daily lives? You mention life. In fact, as long as you seriously reflect upon your own life, you will very easily find that there is nobody on this great land who is entirely devoid of faith. People always choose to place their faith in something, be it money, violence, knowledge, fame, philanthropy, or pleasure. If a person genuinely believes that nothing is inherently true, then he will quickly find himself akin to a puppet with his strings cut, unable to move at all. The followers of Karaganda seek the eternal solace of the mind by questioning ourselves and seeking out the traces of her existence. An interesting thought indeed. This seems quite different from the common perceptions floating around Kereg. Please tell me, what was your perception of Kereg before you witnessed the human tragedy caused by catastrophe? The last pure land on Terra? A sanctuary protected by the gods? A land of simple and kind, poor but happy people? You're quite well versed in these touristy catchphrases. It was your people who discovered and abused the power of Originium, which ruined everything. You know that countless people drowned beneath the waves you stirred. And it is this guilt that led you people to weave your illusions into the fantasy of Kereg, a paradise where one can reap the benefits of Originium with none of the costs. You imagine purity because you know filth, innocence because you know deception, magnanimity because you know opportunism, piety because you know nihilism. How, then, can you see the farmers who've left their homeland behind, the craftsmen whose unfinished goods pile up like a mountain, and the hunters who return home empty-handed. You might even deny the existence of these people so that you may feel at ease when you swallow the blood and sweat of us savages to purify your souls. As an investigative journalist, it is my responsibility to spread the truth, and I am hardly the only Victorian who cares about the truth regarding Carrick. Young lady, you promised to spread the truth about Carrick across the lands, yet your lenses are pointed at those who are most lost, more deserving of pity. Do you think we should call this the truth, or simply a fable? I must admit, your questions have left me...
What is that word? Have left me chagrined? Chagrined? What? Okay, sure.
Be it my colleagues or myself, is it hard to set down our morbid curiosity as onlookers? All you need to know is that Carrick's belongings are not playthings sitting behind the glass of a Victorian shop. Carrick does not, and will not, need anyone's pity or charity. Carrick will always be the people of Carraganda and the home of Carrick people. Alright, I think I'm convinced now. So in your opinion, this catastrophe will not shake the people's faith in Carraganda? To be honest, Carrick's faith is undergoing a serious test. I cannot deny that this catastrophe has shown the seeds of darkness in the hearts of the people, causing them to gradually turn to violence and selfishness, abandoning many of their former virtues. But was all of this due to a catastrophe? A seed cannot germinate without the proper soil. The current turmoil in Carrick only proves that people's beliefs had already changed long before the catastrophe itself. And the cause of all this is Enciodes. Are you referring to Mr. Enciodes SilverAsh, the chairman of Carlin Trade? For thousands of years, Carrick has been spared from catastrophe by our adherence to the order laid down by our god. However, the Vinebead Court is not the rigidly conservative institution that outsiders think. Even in the era before power was restored to the three clans, records in the Vinebead Court's Hall of Writings confirm that the court was involved in, and sometimes even instrumental to, the vast majority of changes across Carrick's history. However, we simply remind ourselves constantly of the wisdom and virtues she taught us, ensuring that each step we take does not become counterproductive. And this order performed through the Vinebead Court has proven its reliability and stability over the long years. Yet, when you don your skis and snowboards and zoom down our snow-capped peaks, how often do you turn back to look at those who lack the condition and ability to keep up? No matter how much you might want to turn back and wait, the falling snow will obstruct your view until the exhilaration carried upon the wind engulfs your every thought. You believe that Carrick's current reforms are too radical. Therefore, if anyone can be held responsible for the current state of Carrick, it can only be Enciodes. So, as an elder of the Vinebead Court, are you planning to make any changes in response to this situation? No. I won't lightly say that I'll be making any changes myself. I simply believe that, for thousands of years, the enemies of Carraganda have all vanished into the snowdrifts of history.
The old man been trying to be doing a murder? Maybe. Oh.
The registration documents are all here. Please make sure this envelope makes its way back to Mr. Edelweiss of Carlin Trade. Don't worry. We were established by Carlin Trade and know Mr. Edelweiss very well. There won't be any mistakes. Glad to hear it.
Oh. Elena turns her head somewhat nervously. After the catastrophe, the people of Carrick have largely preferred to remain at home, with one exception, the market. Hundreds of people crowded together in residential areas, temples, stores, and street stalls, the sorrow on their faces matching the gloomy weather.
At the far end of the market, Joanna is gesturing to her with her hands, her mouth open as if beckoning for her to come quickly. Be right there. Gotta keep a low profile. Elena lowers her head and turns her face away, hurrying away against the flow of pedestrians. Countless Kerek people brush past her, while another Rhine Lab employee squeezes into the crowd and follows the current. Why should we choose the most crowded place?
Do they not know each other are there? I assume they don't.
People are forced to gather here in order to barter for necessities or to receive relief supplies. That they suppress their fear is a fact worn on their sleeves, many of them showing up in naught but simple, local attire. Carolyn instinctively pulls her coat in tighter, walking past the men and women until she stops at the entrance to a quiet little temple. She leans against the door frame, its paint worn and peeling, and hesitantly turns her head to look around, searching for someone else who also has an appointment. Damn it, the bell already rang. All I wanted was to find a place to continue my research. Why am I stuck doing this kind of work? She pounds the wall next to her angrily, until suddenly a hoarse question reaches her ears. Oh, lost lady, why do you treat the property of Karagander in such a manner? I'm sorry. How should I make amends? There's no need for that. Set everything down and come with me. Should it be agreeable to you, please rest in the courtyard. I shall explain the profundity of the scriptures to you, so as to soothe your restless heart. The old man unlocks the temple gate, and Caroline pauses apprehensively to look around before stepping inside. The devotee then follows her in and shuts the gate again. You're the one they mentioned, the one who can bring me out. Choosing to meet up here is incredibly risky, is it not? People are undoubtedly going to be anxious in the aftermath of a catastrophe. Wandering around in sparsely populated, open areas is only going to invite more suspicion. Let's get down to business. We don't have time to waste. Have you acquired all the intel? I have, but it's not meant for you. The Duke of Caster's men promised that once they took over the mine, I would be able to leave Kereg via the internal railway. I don't know what they told you, but now is the time for you to do your part. The mine is currently in the handover period. Once the Victorians have finished their inspection, I will take you there to meet them. I ask for your patience, madam. It is a precious virtue indeed. I hope this is the last time.
She's trying to get out of there. Okay.
Did you hear that? Hear what? Sounded a bit like thunder. How strange. Seemed to come from the mountains. And also, what's this? The tip of my nose feels all chilly. Huh? That's weird. Why is it snowing again? We're in the middle of the snowy season. What's so strange about that? No, that can't be it. Even at this time of year, there are always signs before it starts snowing.
The girl lifts her head, her expression suddenly turning serious.
It's snowing, but it doesn't smell like snow. It's very strange. An old man once said that snow only loses its scent when something truly terrible is about to happen. Is Keragander warning us again? Divine will is less important than how heavy the snowfall is going to be and how it will threaten our safety. As for the scent of snow you mentioned, the air temperature and humidity change before it snows, which may give off the illusion of a peculiar scent. But to treat this as some way of gauging the weather, or even as a divination of some sort, is Well, I frankly don't think it makes any sense. Oh no, the scent of snow is the scent of snow, not some other smell. Keruganda has given hunters a keen sense of smell and eyes that can see in the dark. On the snowfields, we know much more than you do. Okay then. I don't mean to question your personal experience, but I still have to act according to my own experience. As Elena speaks, she sets up the observation equipment and begins to carefully record the data. The girl pouts discontentedly, looking at the device with a distinctively old-fashioned Kereg look. That lump of metal of yours has been beeping this entire time, and it's too heavy. We would have gotten here way sooner without having to lug it around. But it's how we can make sure that every step we take is safe and secure. After a catastrophe, we must be extremely cautious inside originium zones. A sudden gust of wind rises, causing Elena to stumble, but Joanna catches her from behind just in the nick of time. Thanks. The chilly, snowflake-laced wind sweeps over them, and all other noise ceases, save for the whistling wind and its sharp, biting cold. How did the temperature drop so sharply all of a sudden? Is this... I know of a deserted village up ahead. Let's head over there and find a house to shelter in. Enya, who has been lagging behind the group because she was flipping through her notebook, steps in between the two. She stretches her palms out with fingertips only slightly reddened from the cold. Come, take my hand. The fresh snow is too slippery, and the terrain here is steep as well. It would be terrible if someone slipped and fell here. You're both hesitating. Do you not want to hold my hand? Enya, I mean, Your Holiness, No, thank you. One hand extends forward. I'm just doing this for Her Holiness. Joanna turns her head away, but nevertheless places her hand within Enya's.
Oh, is this the same one that Monch and that are in? No, because they're now in the market. Okay. Wait, no. Was the market scene a pre-scene? Did we go back in time for a brief moment?
Phew. Thankfully, the temple is in a much better state than the other buildings, because there still are people who come by occasionally to do repairs.
The three shake off the thick snow from their cloaks. They arrive at the village only briefly before the snow starts to come down heavily, fluttering down like feathers.
You two, go ahead and rest. I'll see if the fireplace here can still be lit. You can usually find a small woodshed behind the village temple. I'll go take a look. Need my help? I'm good. Didn't you say you were going to do the weather forecast? Just go do your thing. I've already set it up. The measuring device will automatically gather data from our surrounding area, so I can help you carry. I told you I'm good. Don't follow me.
Before Elena can even stand up, Joanna already manages to feel out the small door behind the temple statue with practiced ease. The layout of any Kereg monastery is more or less the same. The girl rushes out back and the door slams loudly behind her. Did I do something to upset her? Maybe just a little, but not that much. Don't worry about it. Joanna is a kind girl. Even when she's grumpy, she still wants to be warm. Just like not long ago when she protected me from assassins even though she despises me. However, for many of Kereg's villagers, your thoughts and words can hurt them, even if they are without malice. I'm sorry. Was I too rash? That's not your fault, nor is it the fault of Kereg's people. If anything is at fault, perhaps it is simply your differences. Any sort of communication between people is about these differences.
Even partners who work together in the lab, sharing the same ideas and goals, can still have disagreements. Which is why communication and understanding between people is so precious. Enya folds her cloak and puts it aside. Point to a snowflake on it that has not yet melted. Oh, look at that. A snowflake? The people of Kereg sometimes use snowflakes that have not melted upon stepping indoors as a form of divination. These unbroken, branch-like snowflakes are a sign that our journey will be smooth. According to folklore, the snow is a messenger protected by Kereganda, carrying important truths and omens. It can predict the harvest, the hunt, the craftsman's hammerfall, and even quarrels between friends and lovers. Some may say this iconic tree-like hexagonal snowflake with well-defined branches is a sign of good fortune, but others just as easily see within it a broken connection, an omen of disaster. And so, regardless of what happens in the end, the fortune teller always has something to say. Worst case scenario, they always say, the diviner you met was just bad. The movement of the stars had already revealed the truth long ago, and use that to defend their authority. You also seem quite knowledgeable about divination, Elena. You could say I've had some run-ins with them, due to family circumstances. In any case, most divination has nothing to do with revealing the truth. It's just a form of self-delusion and sophistry. A place where no people wish to go has no roads leading to it. If a problem does not exist, there will be no solution created to resolve it. Fate is a fickle thing, just as your science should acknowledge that there are many things on this land that cannot be controlled or predicted. On this great land, we are but tiny people trying to grasp a glimmer of the prophetic and the true. Is this so different from the origins of scientific discovery? Knowledge is what makes people feel safe and allows them to face an unreasonably uncertain future. In a sense, coincidence, probability, and fate are all the same concept. Fate falls on many just as this snowflake has fallen on my cloak. I get it. Even placebos can be an efficacious type of medicine. But I've also seen many things in modern Kereg. In the past, I always tried to see such strong beliefs as a kind of cultural phenomenon, a ritual, a projection, a form of comfort seeking. But what exactly are they to you people? She asked the question in a soft, subdued voice. The wind outside the window has already subsided significantly. Kereg's saintess looks up at the statue of Kereganda on the altar, beneath a slab of stone engraved with messy markings. Several brightly colored figurines sit side by side. They are exhibition goods produced around the time of the Lake Sibbenhurt ceremony. By the looks of things, someone brought them to this village temple as an offering to the reclusive Kereganda. The clerics of the Vine Bead Court often describe Faith as walking into the darkness without a lamp, or leaping fearlessly into a silent ravine. Everyone always seems to yearn for her. Ascetics, devout believers, faithful followers of the commandments. Countless people endure innumerable hardships just to reach her side. But for me? She tries hard to recall, but the memories in her mind are now but struggling fragments, jumping around like frames from a movie, shrouded in a dark haze. A strong emotion surges once more within Enya's heart. Trouble. Joanna suddenly rushes in with a gasp, firewood in her arms, her cheeks flushed from running. I just saw it coming down the mountain. Lots of Victorian cars, heading for the mine. Victorians? That mine is a joint operation with Casimir's. What are they trying to do there? Have they already picked up our trail? Don't panic just yet. Regardless of what business they have with the mine, we have to hurry. Let's pack up our things and set out immediately. We need to be even more careful and discreet on the road ahead. Just a second, please. I need to pack up my instruments first, and it... Wait. How could this... What are you dawdling around for? Hurry up and pack it up. Here, I'll help you. What is this? This moderate catastrophe risk written here. Does it mean what I think it means? Catastrophe? Could there be another catastrophe brewing? Uh-oh. 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 Danger close. Oh, there's two of them. Okay. I think we still just hold here. He's gonna come down through here. That's fine. Then hopefully we can just yeet them into the cliff. Put a healer out. Actually, we put the healer back one. Boom. Perfect. Boop. I'll wait for the second one to move up. What is this? Or deployed prevents avalanches in its avalanche area, then retreats from the field after a period of time. Oh, does this mean it protect? Wait, what does that mean? I think it just means in the area it won't avalanche, not that it protects a character. Oh my god, she can't even reach. Oh god, here comes this thing. Oh, it's done. It's over. It's over for you. Rip. We don't really have anywhere to put Mudrock either. Kinda owning. Ooh, another one. Okay. I guess what we could do, seeing as it has to do a full circle, we can Nightmare it. Uh-oh. We might need to no avalanche this. We get 30 seconds. Look at its health ticking away as it moves. Really doesn't do that much damage, huh? What if we just put you here? They're not really dealing damage. Why? Oh. Well. Alright, I'm gonna put this out and see if it actually protects us. Let's see. So that's at full, but it's not avalanching because we put the net out. Okay. That did not really help us. So this expires and now it's gonna avalanche. Rip. Ow. Owie. Alright. I think you're just done though. I think it's over for you. Rip. Actually, let me have a look. I'm gonna just have a quick look before we jump into this one. See if the soundtrack for this has already been released. It should have been, right? Is this it? No, that's the Av Musica collab. Huh. Has the music for this one not been released? Albums. Oh, no, it has. There it is. I seenst it. I seenst it. Okay. Serious. You know, it's real hard getting an audience with you these days. Enciodes? I am truly sorry I was unable to attend the matriarch's funeral. Madam Sirius, I'm deeply saddened by what has befallen the Browntail clan. Please let me know if there is anything Clan SilverAsh can do to help. Thanks, Ensiodes. But that's not what I came here to discuss. Your visit this time, Madam Sirius, must be to give me a chance to earn your trust. My sister once told me that you're the least trustworthy when you lower your head like this. I wonder about your opinion of me then. You don't have to beat around the bush. I don't like it. My sister used to scold me for being impulsive and for not always thinking things through before I speak or act. I wanted to prove to her that I didn't need to hide under her wing, that I could do something for Clan Browntail. But now, as the new matriarch of the clan, there is no one left for me to prove anything to. I understand how you feel. I also have 2 younger sisters. And you think they're both smarter than me, huh? Both Encia and the Saintess? You think too little of yourself, Madam Sirius. However, I do think they share your persistence and determination. Is Encia okay? I heard she was in an accident. Thank you for your concern. She is safe and sound and has already returned home. You always keep that calm and composed demeanor. What I want to know is, these attacks on Kereg, including what happened to my sister, did you know about them ahead of time? So this is the real reason you decided to visit me today. Ensiodes, my sister had been helping you this entire time, isn't that right? I wasn't totally in the dark about it, but it wasn't until her passing that I learned your plans for Victoria, Rhine Lab, and what Monch has been investigating. There's too much I don't know anything about. Don't try to deny it. Don't lie to me, Ensiodes. You have to know the truth behind her murder. If you truly believe I had a hand in the matriarch's death. No, that's not what I mean. I don't know what Ratados was plotting with you, but I know for sure that whatever it was to protect Kereg. So, I will follow in her footsteps. Whatever Clan Browntail's affairs may be, I will take responsibility for them. Which is why I need you to tell me exactly what happened to her. My apologies, Sir Ensiodes, but they were determined to break in no matter what. To what do I owe the honor for all of you to barge into my home like this? Sir Ensiodes, why did Carlin Trade transfer all its shares in the Kereg Casimir's joint mining operation to Victoria without authorization? Where did this news come from? It is an observable fact. The mines have completely been overtaken by Victorians. Great Elder Adso believes that such actions by Carlin Trade constitute a legal conclusion with a foreign power, and as such, the Vinebead Court has no choice but to exercise its authority to intervene. We require that you report to the Vinebead Court immediately to explain yourself. If I understand this correctly, the Vinebead Court means to formally interrogate Clan SilverAsh. The people of Kereg are uneasy enough as it is. The last thing we want to see is this conflict escalate further. However, Sir Ensiodes, as the head of the clan, if you still believe you bear responsibility for Kereg, please go to the Vinebead Court with us to discuss the next steps. Very well. I have no reason to refuse. However, if I am to explain the situation, I will need some time to prepare the relevant documents. Please allow me that. Furthermore, I still have some things to discuss with Madam Sirius, so I would like to ask for your patience. Of course, Sir Ensiodes. Madam Sirius, thank you for taking the time to look after Encia. I would like to formally invite you to be a guest of Clan SilverAsh. I would also like to thank you for your concern in person. Well, Encia is present as well. What? It would have been more courteous to have sent the invitation to you in a formal capacity. But given the hasty nature of this matter, the best I can do is to throw something together by hand. I do hope you forgive me. We look forward to you gracing us with your presence. What's he playing? What's he doing here? Before his invitee can respond, Ensiodes picks up a pen and paper from the table, scribbles down a few lines, then hands the invitation over. Sirius takes it. There is only an address on the piece of paper, hardly an invitation at all. Thank you for the invitation. I'll be there on time. Huh? To Mr. Edelweiss of Carlin Trade. I hope this letter finds you well. At the time you are... Okay, there's not meant to be an R there. At the time you read this, I am yet to receive sitrep authorization from Rhine Labs, so please take note. This letter does not in any capacity serve as an agreement or treaty between Rhine Lab and Carlin Trade. Rather, it only represents my personal analysis of the recent phenomena in Kereg. My specimen comes from the sound waves collected by the observation station at 3:19 a.m. on December 7th, 1101. I can say for certain that at that time, an unidentified object fell from the sky onto Mount Carlin. Though the chain of evidence definitively linking the phenomena is still missing, a catastrophe did in fact occur 32 hours later. I do not intend to establish a causal link between these two things. If this crash is a singular event in history, then so too is the catastrophe. What I am preparing to do is to confirm whether or not there is an empirical connection between these two events. Additionally, do forgive my frankness, but if the hypothesis that these two events are linked does bear out, the outcome for Kereg is not optimistic. Whatever factor that has protected Kereg from catastrophes over the millennia may no longer be effective, or at least be in an unusable state. I would, of course, love to write this off as mere conjecture, but nevertheless, I also hope that Carlin Trade will be adequately mindful of the potential risks moving forward. Carolyn, an insider with more detailed information, has likely made similar inferences, but I am in the dark as to what her objectives are at this moment. I will strive to complete this research while maintaining an objective and rational perspective, and would greatly appreciate Carlin Trade's support in my efforts. Respectfully, Eleanor Erbica. Knock, knock, knock. Come in. I was just looking for you, Director. And take this letter over to Ensiodes. Classify it top secret. Yes, sir, right away. Any other news? Yes. The observation post previously dispatched to the mining site has sent back a sighting report. A convoy bearing Victorian markings is approaching the outskirts of the mine, but the specific origins are unknown. Matterhorn led his clansmen there ahead of time. He said that he would try to stall for as much time as possible and await your judgment. The Victorians would have come sooner or later. Looks like we won't have to wait any longer. Prepare vehicles as soon as possible. Matterhorn may not be able to hold them off for long. Tell him to let the other party make the first move and prioritize observation. I will arrive shortly. Do they find the warship? I am warning you, don't get in our way, if you know what's good for you. I'm simply following orders. The area ahead is a restricted warehouse, and nobody's allowed to enter without Carlin Trade's permission. Has no one informed you that House Castor has acquired all of Casimir's rights to this site? To the best of my knowledge, the handover process is still underway. We were only notified by Casimir's yesterday, which is why we have to inspect all the assets in advance. If you have any complaints, you can take them up with Her Grace the Duke. Now listen to your betters and open the warehouse door post-haste. Finally, someone worth talking to. Mr. Genosis Edelweiss of Carlin Trade. It seems the introduction I've prepared will be going to waste, good sir. Of course. Naturally, you also understand who I'm representing here. Due to your mismanagement and the resultant substantial financial losses, Her Grace the Duke has decided to dismiss some key employees of Carlin Trade employed at this site, including the former executive manager. To this I have no objection. I will cooperate fully during this handover process. Excellent. Now then, Mr. Edelweiss, please open the warehouse door. However, on this point alone I cannot comply. What Matterhorn said is true. There indeed are regulations pertaining to this confidential warehouse. I humbly ask for yours and Her Grace's understanding. Based on the information I have, the security clearance level on this warehouse was raised just recently. What do you say to this, Mr. Edelweiss? Allow me to explain. This warehouse is mainly used to store various kinds of industrial waste, but recently the purification system and negative pressure ventilation system both malfunctioned. We temporarily raised the security clearance level and strictly restricted access in the interim before professionals can handle the situation. I fully understand Her Grace's concern about the assets acquired, but for your safety, could I ask that this inspection be postponed? I accept the risks at hand. Just open the door. All else aside, this is Kereg's mine. Should pollutants leak or any other dangerous situation arise, Kereg does not rule out the right to intervene through administrative measures. Before you offer to take responsibility, I suggest you contact Her Grace the Duke once more. Good to see you again, Mr. Matterhorn. Pardon me, Father. I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to wait at reception for now. I currently have business with our diplomatic guest. Mr. Edelweiss, I was expressly invited here by the Victorians. Since when is the Vinebead Court so concerned with temporal affairs? Today, both the clan leadership and the general public are dissatisfied with the way Carlin Trade has been engaging with Victoria. The Great Elder has summoned Sir Enciodes to an inquiry into the matter. Perhaps you will also need to report to the Vinebead Court soon. Why then would a cleric feel a need to accept an invitation to come here before that? I wish to ensure a smooth handover process, and hope that Carlin Trade is willing to cooperate to the fullest extent. Please open the warehouse door, Mr. Edelweiss. Given the power has been restored by the three clans, perhaps the Vinebead Court would be more representative of Kereg's administrative measures. Matterhorn, open the door. The door slowly opens, and the Victorian ambassador is caught unaware by the dust that diffuses from within. He squints and fans the air in front of him with his hand. There is neither the smell of industrial waste, nor the texture of originium dust. The ambassador's eyes gradually adjust to the vast, unobstructed warehouse within, which is nothing but scrap metal. As I stated, there is nothing here but industrial waste. Please leave as soon as you've finished your inspection. Staying here for an extended period of time would be detrimental to your health. Everyone stay put. I'm conducting the inspection by myself. Lock him in there. Just close the door as soon as he goes in. As soon as he enters the warehouse, he feels the vast space around him dilating in all directions. The steel frames stretching straight to the ceiling, surrounded by scrap metal of all shapes and sizes. There's no way such a large warehouse was set up just to store these things. It's far too pretentious. He approaches the bottom of one of the shelves and reaches out to rummage through it with no particular aim in mind. The clanging of metal echoes through the warehouse. Wait, it's still half intact. And I can still make out the insignia of SilverAsh's private army, the Chagada. Were these originally weapons and gear not improperly disposed of after being thrown in the shredder? An idea bubbles up and he keeps looking elsewhere. Though Carlin Trade has been quite meticulous, A few clues are bound to leak through. Of this, he's certain. Replicas of Victoria's newest equipment, as well as large caliber naval gun parts. All failures, unable to break through the technical barrier. The army designations, the insignias, many other terms in the Kiriagi language, he quietly memorizes them all. Sir, are you done yet? Yes, I am. The ambassador returns to the group. I've more or less seen what I need to see, Mr. Edelweiss. I will summarize the entire situation and faithfully report it to the Duke. Sir, the internal railway and the mining site has been cleared, and you haven't had time to inspect it yet. Does Victoria need to use the internal railway? Yes. We've contacted a number of suppliers for quotes. Using the internal railway can significantly reduce transportation costs. Father, is the Vinebead Court aware of this? If you are so keen to get involved in diplomatic affairs, Carlin Trade hopes that you will also be willing to verify any business entities that wish to join. Genosis's concern interrupts the thoughts of the Vinebead Court envoy, who then looks away from the railway. That would require the Great Elder's input. I understand. By Karaganda, I ask that the Vinebead Court not make things difficult for Ensiodes. I will remain at Carlin Trade's headquarters awaiting your summons. By Karaganda. So was that the warehouse that was meant to have the warship in it? Surely not. It was probably where they were developing the weapons for the warship and fitting it out, like creating the stuff that would fit it out, but then moving it to the actual location. Incense and shadows, a secret in a haze. A stick of incense burned down to ash, a rumbling roar. 2 lovers, 3 children. Alright, before we jump into this one, I am going to go to the toilet real quick. I will be right back. Alright, let's go. We have some replacements to do because we're now at level 150. Healer, let's get rid of that. Bring in Amia. Estelle, bring in... Do we just S-team at this point? Do we just S-team? Screw it, bring in Gavi. Nightmare, I need another mage. Let's bring in... Oh, we don't... Yeah, god damn it. Maybe we bring... Oh, you know what? We bring in Mantra.
If you must.
If you must. Kiara, you are under-leveled now, so let's switch you out too. Let's bring in Aofiala normal. I haven't actually used Aofiala normal properly. We'll keep Praminix because why not? Mudrock can stay, Vulpus can stay, Leto probably needs to switch. Let's bring in...
Let's bring... You know what? Let's bring in Sakiko.
チームワークが試される時ですわ。
Alright, let's go. I'm sure the warship was in below the Kereg statue. Oh, it was at the lake? It was under the lake, essentially? Ooh. Ooh. Adso. Who's Adso? You finally come. I don't know who this is. Unless... NCOs? Oh, he's the elder, right? Okay. This guy. This guy instantly took power as soon as the Saintess left. Naturally, I do not dare refuse an invitation from the Vinebead Court, Great Elder Adso. If I remember correctly, it shouldn't take very long to get from the SilverAsh domain to the Vinebead Court. To be summoned to the Vinebead Court is a matter of great importance. As I stand accused of improper dealings with Victoria, I had to make ample preparations to prove my innocence. Without further ado, Sir Enciotes, please come inside so that we may discuss this further. One moment, please. He's brought back up. A large convoy of vehicles pulls up to the center of the Vinebead Court. SilverAsh, what is the meaning of this? Are you not investigating the ties between Carlin Trade and Victoria? I had someone compile all the documents related to the last decade of business dealings between Carlin Trade and Victoria. It is quite the voluminous connection, or collection, so much so that we had to fill several trucks. Great Elder Adso, if it interests you, please take your time to read through it. Good. Very good. Unload everything, then tell your people to leave. I'm afraid I can't do that. What is the meaning of this, Enciotes? It is true that as of late Kereg has had to weather great turmoil. Undoubtedly, Victoria has been at the heart of many of these incidents. Indeed, our troops have discovered evidence of contact between the Vinebead Court and Victorian spies. Empty accusations. Without proof, what right do you have to investigate the Vinebead Court? Investigate? I would never dream of such a thing. However, the Vinebead Court has accused me of colluding with Victoria, and so I am here. By my command, nobody is to leave the Vinebead Court today until Great Elder Adso and I reach a conclusion. Yes, sir. Now then, Great Elder Adso. I remember the Victorian army in Degenbrecher event want to destroy the statue because they found info about it. That's why Degenbrecher had to fight like a bajillion people to stop them approaching. I do remember that now. We've never talked like this before. I've hardly ever even seen you on my past visits to the Vinebead Court, let alone spoken to you. I've heard from many clerics that you spent years in seclusion, studying the scriptures in the Hall of Writings and never concerning yourself with temporal affairs. It seems you've also come to handle the affairs of the Vinebead Court with ease. The only thing I've done over the years is ensure that Kereg follows the path she ordained. Moreover, we stand at a critical juncture concerning our survival. Should the Vinebead Court stand by and watch you drag Kereg into the abyss, allowing Casimir's, Victoria, or any other foreign power to devour us? You are not the king of Kereg, Sir Enciotes. Thank you for your admonition, Great Elder. If Kereg were to have a king, it would only be her. If there are diplomatic errors the Vinebead Court wishes to correct, then Carlin Trade will do our best to cooperate. However, there is one question that puzzles me, for which I seek your guidance.
How exactly is the Vinebead Court negotiating with Victoria? Is it using all of Kereg as a bargaining chip? Elder. We just took a look around. SilverAsh's troops have already blocked the way down the mountain. We'll go check the back door and... The secret passage? I wouldn't bother with that unless you're keen on searching for Tachgada. Don't be alarmed. By Keraganda, I have no intention of attacking the Vinebead Court. Tell everyone outside to rest where they are. No one is to move without my order. Ensiodes, you accuse the Vinebead Court of betraying Kereg to Victoria. Where is the evidence of your claim? Please be patient, Great Elder. It will take some time for the evidence to be delivered here. In other words, you came empty-handed yet still chose to resort to violence against us. You should know that the price is for doing this, head of the SilverAsh clan. Look down at the people beneath the mountain. Your elite troops might be able to block off the Vinebead Court, but you cannot fight all of Kereg. I'm willing to give you time, but if you cannot produce conclusive evidence before sundown, I'm afraid that the reputation of Karlan Trade, and even that of the entire SilverAsh name, will be in tatters. You will become untouchables throughout the land of Kereg. Indeed. I am, of course, well aware of the consequences of my actions. What I do not know, however, is what it would mean for Kereg if the Vinebead Court is found to be colluding with an enemy that assassinated leaders from the 3 clans, and what was caught in the act of espionage. I'll be with you to witness that moment, Elder. I know exactly what you're waiting for. But time is not on your side, Sir Ensiodes.
Did he just basically admit it?
Let us in. We were invited by the Vinebead Court to participate in the blessing ceremony, and SilverAsh's goons have no right to stop us. Throughout her illustrious career, the Black Knight was unshakable, even by the most fearsome opponents. But now, looking down at the teeming crowds crammed into the narrow mountain road, she feels utterly helpless for the first time. Why haven't we seen a single cleric yet? What is SilverAsh trying to pull? Please, calm down, everyone. The Vinebead Court has encountered some extenuating circumstances, and Sir Ensiodes is assisting with the investigation. We came here on an invitation, and you're telling us that there are extenuating circumstances now that we're here? Cut the crap.
Oh, did he just walk past?
A man squeezes through the crowd, but as soon as he takes a step forward, he is met with Degenbrecht's cold glare and has no choice but to retreat, muttering under his breath. Sir Ensiodes will issue an explanation to the public after things have settled down. Please, I ask that you all return home for now. Ma'am, be careful. I'm fine, Degenbrecht. I can stand on my own. We all trust you. We know that you're a daughter of Kereg and would never bring us harm. So, can you tell this old woman exactly what is happening with the Vinebead Court? What do you know about this whole thing?
She didn't get her PR training. Rip.
A vehicle winds its way along the mountain road. Outside the window, dense dark clouds are gathering, mingling. The window rolls down and a few snowflakes laced with unidentified impurities slide into the car before disappearing without a trace. The signal's a little better now. According to our informant, Victoria and the people from the Vinebead Court have left the mining site and have not made any further moves. But given this weather, we can expect more heavy snow. It'll take a lot longer to get back to headquarters than expected. Compared to that, this little hiccup can hardly be considered beyond our expectations. Are you referring to those Victorians from earlier? They got the intel they wanted, but so did we. I mean, the Vinebead Court. The Vinebead Court, huh? The fact that they'd show up here instead of calming the populace is rather strange indeed. It's evident that they were completely unprepared for the situation, and their deliberate attempts to hide their schemes are easily seen through. If some of them are willing to play cover-up for the Victorians, then it's only a matter of time until the mask comes off. It's nearly time. Turn back to the mining site. Are you trying to... The exit ways there are now open, making a good place to leave the country. As you just heard, Ensiodes has already surrounded the Vinebead Court with his men. He has deliberately made a big show of things to alert the enemy. Those hiding in Kereg will definitely be itching to seize the moment. Our undercover agent friend we've been tracking seems to have a particular fondness for this kind of stuff, and he should be arriving in the vicinity soon. Moreover, I suspect she's not the only one either. Instead of looking for her, we should just let her come to us. Gather everyone together and keep a close eye on the entrance to the mining site. Pay extra attention to the people who helped her escape. While you were on your way, the clergy throughout the city were already inviting people to come up the mountain for the ceremony. I wonder how long Dagenbrecher can hold them back. Did the Vinebead Court stoop to these desperate measures, knowing I would not point my weapons at the people? It's true that I'm using them, just as you did to Arktos and Ratatos during the Holy Hunt a few years ago. Perhaps I overestimated you, Sir Ensiodes. Even if you're hungry for power, you should be less obvious about it. Before you commit a grave error, I'm willing to announce to the public that you've come to the Vinebead Court to capture the Victorian assassin. If you truly thought highly of me in any capacity, you would not think that I am only seeking power. All I care about is the future of the land of Kereg. So, a violent coup is the best option or the best path forward? Yes. Because our Victorian friend sits in a position that cannot be reached except through violence. Ah, what you say is true, Sir Ensiodes. The unarmed Vinebead Court, driven to despair by the descendants of Victorians and their acolytes, helpless to defend themselves even when thieves cry thief in front of them. Behavior determines identity better than blood. It is a fact that since the attack on Ensia, people from the Vinebead Court have been falling over themselves to back Victoria. If you are so confident you know what I'm waiting for, the cleric and the Victorian spy caught red-handed together, be it for the general public or the three clans, the rest speaks for itself. I know no more about the conduct of these clerics than you do. Even if the Duke of Castor were to come here herself, she would only tell you that I firmly rejected her offer. That is nothing more than an excuse. A failure to control your subordinates means you are equally responsible for them, and the same applies for Carlin trade. What you suggest is that the clergy of the Vinebead Court indulge in pleasure and collude with foreigners, while I remain oblivious and allow them to sell out Kereg. You and Victoria share many of the same delusions. In reality, the Vinebead Court has only ever wanted to see this as a pretext to expel Victoria and their true ally, Ensiodes SilverAsh. However, the reality is that they ended up aligning with Victoria in practice. All the clergy who have associated with Victoria have sworn an oath to death after you were expelled. Their bones will nourish Kereg's future, and they will leave no regrets behind. So what you propose is that Kereg should purge itself, down to those who hunt Victorian spies to this day, those who the Duke of Castor considers enemies. And that is the only way to defeat Victoria. You underestimate her? Yeah, right. Was this guy not there at the lake? Did he not see? There is nobody around. A sudden gust of wind suddenly howls through the unfamiliar courtyard. Carolyn continues to stir around her piping hot cup of savory milk tea, the spoon continuing to clink against the cup. Oh my god, the combination of those two words. She shudders in anticipation, either due to the drink or her impending evacuation. She stares at the swirling tea and strokes the cup, completely ignorant to the fact that the cup is engraved with Kereg's mountain ridges. Her thoughts are interrupted by a knock on the door. Who is it? Stay back. Sorry to keep you waiting, young lady of Victoria. It's you. Please pardon my intrusion, but due to the situation changing, you will be transferred to a new destination ahead of schedule. What? What happened? I only know the gist of the Vinebead Court's decision. A gist isn't good enough. We need to have a concrete plan of action, or else... I will take full responsibility for the operation until you have safely left Kereg's borders. All you need to do is follow the instructions. As for how to leave and who will help you, don't overly concern yourself about such things. Kerrigander witnesses all, and she shall walk with us. Stop trying to fool me with your vague and nondescript dogma. By Kerrigander. In other words, I've become your responsibility now, right? I am but a follower of her will. Fine. You have your beliefs and I have mine. But since we'll be working together, let me remind you that if this operation fails, your side will also be exposed. That's right. Does that not worry you at all? The cleric simply smiles gently and takes a garment out from his bag. No, young lady. All I need is faith. You can also place your faith in us. As long as we are of one heart, we can overcome our fear. Cleric of the Vinebead Court. I don't think we need to discuss this any further. Instead, let's focus on something useful, like when we leave. My apologies, young lady. This is a cleric's robe that I sewed myself. Please, put it on for now. This journey will take you past many people and countless eyes. If you encounter someone who comes up to see you seeking prayer or answers, do not try to please them. Stay silent and avoid them. I will walk with you, no matter what dangers we may face. Color me curious. Why do people pray to your god for protection even after a catastrophe? Just in case. Believe me, young lady, you know too little about Kereg. Now, please pack your belongings. I will wait for you outside. The door opens and a dry, cold wind rushes in, lashing at the cleric's neck and face. An old dagger slips from his bag, and he nonchalantly bends down to pick it up. He knows exactly what this amulet, forged for him by his father who was returned to Kerrigander, will ultimately be used for. By Kerrigander, may this devout body be blessed, and may it spread your holy will. They brought excellent seeds to Kereg as well as machinery. The Vinebead Court has never denied these contributions. To be frank, I have never seen anyone so complicated in my already withering life. Hero. This does nothing to dispel my doubts. Compared to these acts, the Vinebead Court seems only to recognize friend and foe based on where they come from. Then allow me to ask you a question first, Sir Ensiodes. In your heart of hearts, what exactly is Kereg? I've already answered this through my actions. Victorian-style buildings, Victorian-style weapons, Victorian-mandated laws. This is your answer. Unless we choose to seclude ourselves deeper within the mountains, shunning both external disturbances and any further advancement. Otherwise you might even be able to see things from Laterano or Lothanion one day. Until one day the people of Kereg believe in nothing but Originium and money, unless faith itself can be sold. Once the shell of Kerrigander is ripped open, the people shall no longer hold any reverence for eternity. They will only chase after their own values and desires. They will hate the strong because in this new theater, the more one abandons his morality, the stronger he becomes. They will hate the weak because the weak will come to occupy the crevices of pity and charity. Nihilism will become the most popular ideology. The people's hearts will become empty and detached, and they will take pride in their emptiness. Your ideals are slaughtering the people of Kereg, turning Victoria's present into our future. The Kereganda that the Vinebead Court worships is far more fragile than the one I worship. If all it takes to overthrow our sacred beliefs are a few foreign tools, then how has Mount Carlin stood to this day? How could it be that foreign tools can cover our mountains and rivers, yet foreign ideas can never be touched? If this is what you believe, then you must also admit that what can conquer the body can also conquer the soul. Born into a dark and hopeless era, you must race faster than the clouds to avoid being swallowed by darkness. Faith should not drive people to become accustomed to the darkness, but rather unwaveringly affirm the yearning for the light. Yet the more pious one is, the more destitute he becomes. In due time, he will see piety as a noose and begin to hate the history of faith itself, which is why those who adhered to the teachings of Kereganda were ridiculed as pedantic and ignorant. Without turning on the tap, there is no clean drinking water. Without applying chemical fertilizers, there is no fertile farmland. You leveled the mountains and forests to build your factories, then sent the displaced back to the ruins of their homes to either sell their labor or die. The lives you've improved for some are fed by the happiness you've stolen from others. O eloquent Grand Master, I ask you, how should we deal with the stragglers left in your wake? You are right. It is a heavy responsibility that I must accept. However, the Vinebead Court only fantasizes about incremental change while continuing to regard doing nothing as a virtue. Such people have no right to judge me. I have never sought to block Kereg's progress. My only responsibility is to pull the reins on self-important tourists before things spiral out of control. You're moving too quickly, Sir Ensiodes. The way to format the Kereganda, the way to punctuate prayer passages, which hand to raise during rituals, are debates that can last for centuries. Elder of Clan Browntail, you have both the talent and the platform, and yet you only yearn for the solace of the other shore. Yet when you hide away in the Hall of Writings and philosophize you from your armchair, do you know anything about where Kereg is actually heading? What I know is that Kereg would never let an apostate take the helm, and I have never been one to philosophize from my armchair. You are not the first apostate I've dealt with. What memories come to mind when you hear the names Olafur and Elizabeth SilverAsh? What? Oh, is he saying the SilverAsh family tried to take over before? This bloody weather again. Damn it, why is there a traffic jam in a place like this? Hey, you in the back. The road's about to get real bumpy. If you want to be able to stand after getting out of the truck, I'd recommend taking a nap now and conserving your energy. Inside the rear compartment, the lights flicker as the truck sways. The passengers trying to escape sit upright on their haystacks, eyes tightly shut. Shit, what's that thing in front of me? Ugh! An oil slick spills across the middle of the road, and in front of the stopped truck is a line of fully armed men. The engine emits a strange, strained noise, and the windows are splattered with paint. Inside the driver's seat, the Victorian tightly grips the steering wheel. I've never tried to hide where I came from, even though it's something that others have long forgotten. Luca Browntail, Ratados and Sirius's grandfather, my cousin. In order to achieve the same goal, we accepted different fates, to safeguard Kereg's order through the Tri-Clan Council and the Vinebead Court. Though known for his ruthlessness, he still harbored fantasies about the SilverAshes until the very end. He said, A peaceful resolution is never impossible, as long as the couple are willing to make concessions. But I have never lived in fantasy. That train accident. Huh. Is that what you believe? Or did Retracing make you believe it? How many clergymen and devotees do you think are out there among the commoners? If the masses wish for Karaganda to punish the apostates, then I, serving the Vinebead court, shall deliver on those wishes. Wait. Did he just admit to killing them? Sir Ensiodes, the man who killed your parents is right in front of you. Those who commit murder will be punished twice over by Karaganda. This crippled body has lost any meaning for me long ago. I grant you permission to dispose of me as you wish, for reasons private and public, not for treason, but for murder. Arrest me here and put me on trial. Let the people of Kereg see just how sinful it is to kill an apostate. The old man wobbles to his feet, his withered fingers clenching into fists as if using all his strength. Suddenly he stretches his arms out before Ensiodes, like a sinner waiting to have his confession heard. His cloudy eyes shine with a glimmer of light, as if seeking to quench decades of old grudges with another's anger. Ensiodes slowly closes his eyes, his fingertips wrapping tightly around his cane. If you're trying to provoke me into acting out of line, I'm afraid your efforts are in vain. I won't lay a finger on you here. All I can do is ensure that you receive a fair trial. Okay. Incense and shadows. Okay, one that's pushing people to the left and they're holding basically the entire line. Oh, he's just about to murder them all. Uh-oh. Rip. Yep. That was expected. Do we have a tank? We do. We've got Mudrock. We've only got 2 ranged tiles. This is unfortunate. Wait, are they just... Oh my god, she can hit them from all the way over here. That's so funny. I think we can cut through them all. Yeah, no, we're good. And then, boom. Okay, so yeah, they're all going to end up on this side, it appears. Okay. How many are spawning? 122? Oh boy. Maybe we don't Mudrock. We need something that can... Oh, I didn't even notice there was one on this side. What? I'm gonna force it if I can. Oh, they don't take damage? Excuse me? I probably should have read what they do. Oops.
A carefully deliberated dispatch.
I need something big to put here. 21, 36 puts a Mudrock down. Maybe. Alright, there we go. Hopefully we can hold against this.
If we must be covert.
Boing. Boing. There's a lot of shit spawning in. I need to do something. Oh, we're in danger. Gavial should be able to clear this out. Oh yeah, she's got that easy. Dude, why are there so many mushies? I don't even know what these mushies do. I need to read. Wait, they're planting themselves. Oh. Are they making them immune to the avalanche or something, maybe? Oh. Well, that's okay. She's okay. She's alive. Oh, oh, she's still alive. Believe. I love how she can just outrange. It's actually insane. And now I can smack them into the wall here once they all move up. Oh, it does nothing. It does nothing! Ah! Oh, they're frozen. We'll take the freeze. What's Mudrock's ability again? Oh, I don't want to use her ability. We need to change her off that ability, actually. It's not a great one.
There is no rejecting my interest.
Oh no, Vulpus might be going down. She's got her ability again, though. And then Gavi. Just ult with Gavi and that gets rid of that. Nice. There is this mushroom here. Do we need to kill this? Okay. Okay. Do we have anything that can reach the mushy? Oh yeah, here we go. Oh my god, she deals damage so slowly. Come on. 10 years later. How's your feel using Mudrock? I need a better ability on the Mudrock. That's what I need. I need the one where she heals herself. Not the stops attacking one. Hurry up. You in the back. Keep up. Our intel indicates that the target should be around here. Search carefully and leave no stone unturned. After that woman left the room, an unknown amount of time passed, to the point that time itself seemed alien to Monch. Only the stinging pain of the ropes tightly binding her reminds her that she has not yet lost consciousness. Finally, a hopeful sound comes from beyond the door, and Monch musters what might she has left to shout. I'm over here. But try as she might, her parched throat can hardly produce a sound. Was she dragging herself? Yeah. She laboriously crawls towards the door. It opens. Monch! Save your assassin, save her. Madam, why are you here? We've been searching for you ever since the catastrophe hit. That damn SilverAsh, pretentious bastard, thought they actually had some useful intel. But in the end, I still ended up having to do all the legwork myself to find you. How are you doing? You hurt anywhere? Wait, your leg? I'm fine. Madam, listen to me. The researcher I'm tracking, she's from Victoria, but more important, she's got ties to Colombia. What they're really after is... Oh. Monch! Monch! Passes out before she could even get the information out. Lol. Along the narrow mountain path, the convoy slowly plods onward. After the incident's sudden outbreak, no shortage of people left their cars to observe the conflict's epicenter. Turn off the engine. Get out. What do you think you're doing? Who the hell are you people? I'm an industrial investigator dispatched from Victoria. This is illegal obstruction of official business.
You've damaged our property, endangered Victorian lives, and almost even caused an accident. Mark my words, the Vinebead Court will hear of this. Never should have come to this bloody shithole. Are you done? Did you get all the pictures? Yes, sir. This is no time for you to try to twist the narrative, Victorian. Just cooperate. Open up the rear compartment. Unwilling to cooperate? Fine by me. You're more than welcome to conserve your energy to fend for yourself before the court. If you're cold, I can offer you a blanket. Matterhorn waves his hand, and the guard pries open the rear compartment without a word. Seated upright upon a haystack, there is an old cleric. He brushes the dust off his body and walks out. It is an emotionless affair, hardly amounting to courage. The old cleric gazes upon the blinding brightness before him and recollects the scenes from before. Some 10 minutes ago. Why'd the truck stop? Have we arrived? Carolyn lowers her voice. Did something happen? Stay calm, young lady. Did they find us? I didn't expect to find you here, cleric of the Vinebead Court. Let's continue this conversation elsewhere. This place is less than ideal. You are as hasty as always, young master of Clan Edelweiss. Honorable friends of Clan SilverAsh, I apologize for disturbing your work during this inclement weather. I'm more than glad to go along with your arrangements. Looks like the one we're after isn't here. Oh, he managed to escape the researcher? I do believe this is where we part ways, young lady from Victoria. Are you getting off? No, I'll stay here. Just keep walking forward and don't look back. The entrance isn't far off. SilverAsh's people will surely notice this truck. Get out of here before they find you. By Keraganda, trust me. The old cleric helps Carolyn up. I'll do as you said. But you'll also be exposed. That too is Keraganda's will. What I cannot change, I shall therefore accept. I asked only for her forgiveness. I can't say I understand what your beliefs truly are, but maybe someday I will. I respect your beliefs, so I'll also try to find a way to live in peace. Best of luck to you, sir.
Why do I get the feeling she's actually going to escape? And then this is what leads into the Columbia story. Carolyn gets out of the truck and runs without stopping in a direction leading far, far from Kereg. Shedding her stained cleric's robe, she shivers from the cold. Alone, she walks through the vast, pale mountainscape, until in the distance a dark tunnel entrance beckons to her. Through the telescope's lens, Genosis sees the mysterious scientist step into the shadows. Oh, he can see her. Arrest these two and have them sent straight to the Vinebead Court. Sounds like she did escape, though. I've bought one. I'm afraid I cannot grant your wish, Great Elder. Upon hearing that long-awaited voice, Enciode stands up and walks past the old man, who remains frozen like a wooden sculpture. Genosis executed the plan. The Shigada deployed immediately on his signal. Before the presence of these wraiths, the clerics could do nothing but stumble back into their abodes, their tender faces affixed in fear. I'm one of the Vinebead Court's clerics. You can't treat me like this. Shut up and stop resisting. Master Frey is here too. Please, help me. The one just brought in was the once arrogant envoy of the Vinebead Court. His gaze sweeps over the shouting cleric,
and he shakes his head. Father Frey, I believe I can now explain your actions. Victoria's agents conspired with the Vinebead Court's clerics to smuggle spies out of the country through the mine railway, but were caught red-handed thanks to Carlin trade. And before that, you were assisting the Victorians with scouring the mining site. Premeditated ill intent. At least you forget. And lest you forget, you protected the suspect following Ritados' funeral. You will formally be put on trial for these crimes. But Karaganda, forgive him, for he knows not of what he speaks. It is a fact that spies have infiltrated the Vinebead Court. I urge you not to resist. Cooperation with our investigation is the only path to leniency. Take Elder Great Adsfo, Father Frey, and the other elders of the Vinebead Court away for questioning. The other clerics are to remain here, awaiting their summons. Yes, sir. Now then, Great Elder Adso. Take him away. SilverAsh, do you think you've won? Those who live by the blade will find their arrogance short-lived. I wonder, just how long will your arbitrary reign of terror last? Without making any unnecessary movements, Adso gives a slight nod to the crowd, then slowly walks to the door. Great Elder, what shall we do? Survive. The rest is already written in the scriptures. I have nothing else to say. You are her servants, and whatever happens, you must act according to your conscience. Take him away. By Karaganda, may the guilty receive their fair trial. This is an abandoned mining shaft. The torches and tunnel lights don't work anymore. Bend down carefully and watch your heads. If we wrap around from this side, we should be able to make it. Ugh! Watch out. Come over first. Watch your step. Joanna shifts her feet, and several rocks tumble down the cave, the sounds of dislodged pebbles echoing through the cracked crevices as they fall. She shudders. So deep. You'd probably turn into a stain on the ground if you fell from this height. And those Victorians for causing trouble in the mines. Else we wouldn't have to come this way. Huh? Saintess, what are you looking at? There's a light ahead. It must be the path leading to the main ore vein. Come, let's hold hands just like before. We're just a few steps shy of our answer. We mustn't run into danger here. Soon we'll find all our answers.
Wait, do these? No, they don't stumble in on it, do they? The ship? The map is illuminated by the flickering light of the oil lamp. They hardly converse, moving forward in silence, their steps filled with both fear and anticipation. But eventually the search comes to an end. Are you sure this is the right place? Might we have made a mistake? No, I'm sure of it. This is the mine I previously calculated and located. There's no way this could be the wrong place. But what are you two talking about? This is the place we were looking for, yeah? According to my plan, we should be able to find a Reginium vein here. My deduction can be proven correct if and only if it exists. But this place is an Ori iron mine. What? I've investigated and analyzed everything. These are all just ordinary Ori iron deposits. There's no chance they're related to catastrophe, let alone any traces of extraterrestrial objects. Where did we go wrong? But why? We clearly saw a bunch of trucks transporting Originium on our way here. How could this all just be Ori iron? Oh my god, flashbang.
It doesn't take long for Enya to grasp the schemes of the man bonded to her by blood. Indeed, we came to the wrong place. The mineral vein here is not the heart of Karlan, but rather the bones of Kereg. Bones that uphold Kereg's spine. May I say something? The heart of Karlan is a pure core that validates faith. Man's eyes, ears, mouth, nose, and hands can deceive, and only the heart cannot. Such is written in the Kereganda. But I don't think we're being unfaithful or impious. We all know how much we've done, and surely she must know too. Just like how give everything on the hunt, only to come up empty-handed and go hungry through the night. But we must have faith. Faith in the land of Kereg. Faith in Kereganda's protection. She promised us that as long as we have our two hands, we shall not starve or freeze to death in Kereg's lands. So, great Saintess, come. Let's try again. Huh? Try what? Use your bell to call Kereganda. That sweet bell, the sound of Saintess who played to awaken Kereganda. The clear sound beloved of her. The sound that is her call. So it says in the Kereganda that bird and beast wearing this bell will not be snatched away by wild beasts. They shall not fall ill or die young, and shall find their way back home should they ever be lost. For one's heart to be astray is to be lost too, right? I don't totally get what it means, but I heard it from one of the clerics at the Vinebean court. Unlike her two dejected companions, the girl shows no signs of discouragement and is eager to try again. It's upgrade material, grab it quick. That's right. We should keep trying. Perhaps Kereganda will respond to us. Ding-a-ding. Ding-dong. The silver bell rings out on high, its engraved pattern shimmering beneath the hazy light of the miner's lamp. She had tried to call out like this before, at the Vinebead court, in her own bedroom, among her books, while resting among the snow-capped mountains. Ring, ring. The clear, cold sound of the silver bell echoes through the empty cave. Whoa, that's... Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. This sound, this frequency. Why does it sound so alike? Did you discover something? That frequency. The echoes of your bell throughout the cave sound just like that one audio recording from the observatory. Almost identical even. Is that just a coincidence? A coincidence? No. In nature, no two snowflakes are exactly alike. Say, Saintess, where exactly did that bell come from? That would require going back to a very ancient legend. In Kereg history, there was a long span of time where Kereganda fell into deep slumber until she was awoken by a devout saintess. It was Kereganda's gift to that saintess. I've also heard that when subsequent craftsmen made bells for the saintesses, they sought to imitate the sounds of the mountains. The sounds of the mountains? What kind of mountain could make a sound? The sounds of the mountains. Oh, are we about to find out that the mountains are meteors and made of some like strange material from space? Or they're made out of dead Ferenmuts. It could be that too, I guess. A Ferenmut? Impossible. How could that be? Snap out of it, Elena. You're a scientist. How could you let your faith falter at a time like this? Elena, are you saying that on the day before the catastrophe, something fell onto Mount Karlan, thus creating that sound? Based on my previous conjectures, yes. So think about it this way. If we think of the mountain as a huge bell, Doesn't that mean there's probably a huge hollow inside it? Theoretically speaking, that would be possible. But do you know where a massive hollow like that could exist? There is a rumor not recorded in Kerrig's official history, and it also happens to be related to the saintess who awakened Kerrigander. A long, long time ago, there once was an uprising against the Vinebead court in Kerrig. The people had grown dissatisfied because Kerrigander had not performed any miracles in a long time, and so they marched upon the Vinebead court. Their wrath was only quelled when the saintess awakened the sleeping deity. During the chaos, a number of clerics took their precious scriptures and took refuge within Mount Carlin, therefore preserving some of their valuable knowledge. Yet regardless, the classic works of the Vinebead court still suffered a break in continuity around that time. What if the account of Kerrigander leaving her people within the scriptures is actually a description of this event? Great saintess, if this sanctuary truly exists, we'll find traces of the Kerrigander there. Where should we even look? Behind the Vinebead court, the place leading to Mount Carlin's summit. Enya tightly grips the silver bell in her hand. She seems to hear the wind and the snow, as well as the footsteps that would occasionally shadow her while she worked at the Vinebead court. Whose voice was it? Who was calling to her from behind? Who would pat her on the shoulders and bring honeyed sister milk to her while she was burning the midnight oil to organize her scriptures? All she can hear and see is the pure white snow that never stops blowing with the wind. Oh, Kerrigander on high, please grant us your guidance. May the path we walk be true.
Just like Sammy then? I don't fully know the stuff about Sammy because I don't think I was around during the Sammy events. I do not think I played through the Sammy events. Because I remember when Typhon? Or Typhoon? No, it's Typhon, I'm pretty sure. When Typhon came out, I wasn't around. So I missed that entire story arc. A cleric from the Vinebead court, in collusion with Victorian agents, stole important military intelligence and was arrested yesterday. Great Elder Adso confessed to some of these allegations and agreed to fully cooperate with the investigation. During this time, all activities of the Vinebead court are to be suspended. There is considerable evidence suggesting that Victorian agents are involved in a string of unusual natural and social phenomena. Carlin Trade is also assembling scientific researchers to assess the possibility of an espionage-related catastrophe. As a reminder to all citizens of Kerrig, if any foreign national approaches you under the guise of offering charity, business ventures, or gathering news, please be extremely vigilant. I knew it. The Great Elder and that Victorian Duke are in cahoots. Look what those bastards have brought upon us. Couldn't it just be one big misunderstanding? If even the Vinebead court has betrayed Kerrigander, my goodness. They've been mucking about with the Victorians, and you still give them the benefit of the doubt. But hasn't the Carlin Trade you seem to trust so much been dealing with Victoria this whole time? The only reason you can even hear all this on the radio is thanks to Carlin Trade. But what about the Vinebead court? What have they ever done for you? Stop your bickering. Victorian Broadcasting has a response. Shut up and listen. I don't give a damn what they have to say. I need to make sense of all this. Sir Wilson, you are highly respected by Her Grace and the Duke, as well as an expert on the Kerrig affair. We would like to ask you, how should we interpret the attitude displayed by NCO SilverAsh? I see it as nothing more than a way of quelling the public discontent in Kerrig. NCOs has always been a close partner of Victoria. Don't you find that somewhat difficult to believe?
Even based on publicly available information, it is an indisputable fact that Victoria has been the primary beneficiary of many of the trade contracts strongly spearheaded by Ensiodes himself. With the help of Karlan Trade, Kerrig's development has almost entirely come off the back of Victoria's aid, from the import of breeding beasts and fertilizers to railway technologies, and even originium processing. In return, Ensiodes is committed to handing over more than 40% of Kerrig's natural resources for Victoria's development. Not long ago, Karlan Trade also handed over a mining site that was being worked by Casimir's to the Duke of Castor. Then it seems that Ensiodes is trying to maintain an attitude of ambiguity. That being the case, are you not worried that his attempts to soothe the public will anger the Duke? Lest you forget, Ensiodes is the Duke's grandnephew, and the blood of Castor flows in his veins. The delicate understanding between him and the Duke is without a doubt difficult for outsiders to grasp. What you may not know is that even while he issued the statement, he also submitted a new mining agreement to the Duke, who has already signed and returned it. Expect a joint announcement on this matter in short time. I've obtained the key points of this agreement and would like to share them with you here. Do take a look at these graphs, good sir. Karlan Trade is willing to entrust 100% of future mining rights to a foundation established jointly with the Duke of Castor. This truly is just the tip of the iceberg. Look at what comes next. Is giving full ownership of the mines to Castor? Nonsense. The young reporter is startled by the volume of her outburst. She instinctively reaches to pat her bulging backpack before turning around. Seeing the empty street makes her let out a heavy sigh. Phew, looks like they won't be able to catch up to me. Camera, recorder, film prints, everything's here. This time I won't let them take these away. She then looks at the statue of Kerrigander in the distance, pulls down the brim of her hat, and walks toward the city center. Is it going to turn out that she's a spy as well and she's just been trying to foment, like, unrest? Oh, we finished mantra stuff. Nice. Nice. That, my friends, is where we are going to call it for tonight. We will go ahead and collect our Ashton. Boom.
ドクター、また会えて嬉しいよ。しっかりとロドスでの暮らしと仕事の流れを復習してきたから、今回は何でもバッチリこなせるよ。
Okay, her voice has a lot more energy into it than I expected. She almost sounds like she's not at the level of Mulesize, but she's actually somewhat close to Mulesize's level of energy. Oh, actually, I think we've got one more roll. Hold on. I think we can buy one more roll. Let me grab that, and we'll finish off with one more roll. You never know. It might be SilverAsh. You never know. Let me also just grab money so I can level people up. Thank you. All right, let's head over and do this last roll and hope and pray. Hope and pray. Hope, hope, hope and pray. Boom. Here we go. Believe. Believe. No, my God. Okay, bro. Okay, bro. How deep are we into this now? Do we actually know? Does it say? Are we 80? Is that 80? I think we're 80 rolls in now. SilverAsh may elude me here, which is not great. Not great. Oh yeah, it says over here, 88, right here. We're 88 rolls in. Unfortunate. What's the guarantee? Is it 120? Or am I thinking of Enfield right now? Is Enfield the 120? All right. All right. What did we get up to, by the way? What chapter? Oh, chapter 8. Isn't that the final one? Oh. Well, we'll do that tomorrow regardless, because I want to go to bed. We will do that tomorrow and finish this off. I believe also the patch for Enfield is out, right? I'm pretty sure the patch for Enfield is out. So if we finish this early, we'll jump over and start checking out the Enfield patch tomorrow as well. And see what is what over there. I assume there's main story, right? It is a major patch. Oh, it is a major patch story. We might be in for a good time right there. Very good, very good. Alright, again, thank you for watching. And I shall catch you guys. Oh, faded that one out a bit too early. And I shall catch you guys next time. Cool. Peace.
Too much of the past for one to memorize. Too many words remain for one to read through the lines, the ebb and flow of the crowd, flood the world and paradise along the path of time. Every night brings a dream, but the day relentlessly keeps me awake. All the rest will be done whenever a choice is made. Every living soul in the fray, striving for their own safe place. Life is too long to end that way. Just a drop of water suffices. Being caught, sort of throws me by the universe. Personas played out on the stage will return to the self when there's a curtain call. Every night brings a dream, but the day relentlessly keeps me awake. All the rest will be done whenever a choice is made. Everyone has their own desire, leading to the ultimate. Life is too long to end that way. Just a drop of water suffices. Still I wish to embrace the road with my thoughts. And you may choose time to live where I have stood so long. Letting you go recover traces overlapped and stand.